AirWreckRadio.
Oh, it's so awful. You're going to love it.
Well, here they come again. They heard that things were happening. With mics in front of faces, their lips begin a flapping. They talk about world and local news reports, and even Steph Michaels, cause she's a doggy whore. Cory says,
Man, it's a goddamn joke. Corruption is abundant and the POTUS is a hoax.
Stacy says, man, I'd like to act, but Americans are lazier than most, that's a fact.
so go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreck Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, and thank you for choosing AirWreck Radio. We'd like to apologize in advance if there's any inconvenience caused, but we're going down. It's the 22nd day of July in the year 2013. I am Cory.
I'm Stacy.
And this is AirWreck Radio.
Are you sure it's not the 29th?
I'm pretty sure that it's, I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd.
Oh, fuck.
We have a great show planned for you guys today. We have an astrophysicist in to talk about space.
Yeah, because it's the 29th. Yeah, about that. We said space show.
They lied.
Join us next week for the space show.
The guy who does our scheduling is an idiot. He's a complete moron.
Absolutely dropped the ball on this. He was busy licking windows.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, the guest confirmed the 29th, but,
We knew it was the 29th. Both of us. But the guy who had it scheduled, no idea that the 29th wasn't today.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah.
So
about that, hola y bienvenidos a AirWreck Radio. That's for all of our Latin listeners. We don't actually know if they listen,
but we know they like.
But we know they're on Facebook. They have very noticeably Hispanic names, none of which I'm going to try to pronounce. With a pot and pan. Not going to happen.
No, we don't actually want to offend these people. Nope. Those were the last people. Actually, in reality, a fun show for you today, Wreckheads. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. We're going to talk about drones in the sky. We're going to talk about new dinosaurs, a new dino-discovery.
Yeah, there's a new dinosaur. They took a picture of it.
A baby is born and the world returns. We're also going to talk about a major American city turning into Gotham City before our eyes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Does that mean Batman or the Joker?
Totally Batman. No. It's totally the Joker.
Oh, I was really hoping for...
No, it's not good. None of this is...
I heard that that somewhere in, I think it was France, a Superman... actually stopped a crime, which is more than I think he did during the entire Man of Steel movie. But in real life, he delivered.
I haven't seen it yet. But
spoiler alert!
I don't
Millions
give a fuck.
dead.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, shit happens.
Yeah.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, definitely.
As the superheroes would call it.
It was like watching Goku fight the Power Rangers. But it was it was a cool movie anyway. Go see it. It was a fun movie. It was definitely fun until you start doing the math for the amount of death that's happening. It's not on screen.
Speaking of deaths, we'll be talking about people who were shot out of roller coasters.
Don't ride a roller coaster. And if you do,
if you're fat,
if you're concerned that it's not secured properly, I recommend that you take the initiative and say, I don't want to ride today.
God, I hate to get into something like that 3 minutes into the show.
We'll save it for later.
We'll save that for later.
That's what you call teaser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I already want to start screaming at you.
Sweet.
And then later in the show, my very personal close friend, somebody who was an inspiration to me, is granted me the rights to an exclusive interview since she doesn't do showbiz no mo. Beth Donahue-Weedman will be joining us later on the phone to talk about what the hell she's got going on lately.
It's funny that she doesn't do showbiz anymore.
Nope.
But she certainly could do our show, and that's pretty cool. Unless you look at it from the other end of the coin, you're like, how's showbiz, but our show?
No.
Yeah. What are we? We're not
showbiz?
I guess we're never going to get, like, E.T. caliber people, though.
Well, that's a different conversation. And, of course, a very special thanks to our favorite Hideaway Brewery, the official cold beer of AirWreckRadio, fake radio doing fake reads for real beer. Delicious. That was better than the real cap sound effect.
Yeah. That's in-studio sound effects live.
The reason why our introduction happened to take 5 minutes long today was that I have done absolutely no work towards this episode. Nothing.
Oh, really?
Well, I thought it was going to be a different episode than I thought it was going to be. I thought
fucker screwed things
there was going to be guests, and production already planned. And so I have no new production. I have no bits. I have no show prep. I have nothing. Frankly, I've been too distracted this week trying to launch a very special project here at AirWreckRadio. Gotta tell you, it's not.
Was it the TARDIS in space? Did you do that? Was that you?
That was not me.
No.
But damn, I wish it was.
I don't much follow Doctor Who, but I still think it's pretty cool that somebody put a TARDIS in space.
Yeah, buddy. I want somebody to put an AirWreck Radio logo in space. That's all I want.
Hell yeah. Just slap it on a TARDIS.
There's guys that build a weather balloon that do that on a regular basis. They put a camera on a weather balloon and film it as it enters space,
so
and then it explodes.
It wasn't a TARDIS. Was it a Japanese girl bot?
Ooh.
Was it a Chinese sex bot? Those are in the making right now because there's 50 million more men than women in China.
That's bad.
That sucks for them.
Yeah, buddy.
Badly. 50 million, to put it in perspective, is a large nation.
Very large nation.
Of all men in China. That is just their extras. So
what was the total population of the United States?
301 million.
Mm-hmm. 50 million
extras.
Lopsided extras.
Yeah, these poor guys. It sucks for them. Unless they're gay, in which case, super
hurrah,
or however they say it in Chinese.
Is there another country on the globe that's got a surplus of women that we could kind of trade off for?
No, who would do that? It would be like, yeah, deal. We will totally
accept more guys and ruin my ratio.
Yeah, no, not. I don't think any country in the world's going to do that. So it wasn't Japanese girl bots.
No, it was not Japanese girl bots.
And you didn't make Chinese pussy bots.
No.
I'm baffled.
I spent my week building AirWreckRadio.com. Finally, a podcast with a website. It's the first time that's ever happened. Oh, wait.
To us.
Yeah, to us. We're actually the last ones at this fucking party. We had a successful podcast before we had a website.
Well, it wasn't worth the effort until it was a podcast.
That was exactly what happened. Let's make sure people actually listen to this drivel. Then we'll spend our time and energy marketing it. And, cold hard cash.
It's funny. We definitely did develop listeners well before we developed a website.
Yes.
Because things like Spreaker and what were we using to begin with?
Zippy Share.
Zippy Share, yeah.
Zippy Share. That was our first one.
That was,
It was too much ad. There was too much ad space.
Yeah.
It was too confusing. Spreaker has been very good to us. They updated the layout of their website.
Yeah.
And our profile.
Yeah.
And everybody's profile.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Nobody uses the website.
I know, they just link directly to the page.
I use Stitcher or Facebook. I tell everybody just use Facebook.
Well, if the Facebook links you directly, it still uses your Spreaker.
Well, folks, stop using the Facebook.
No, keep using
Don't
the Facebook.
stop using the Facebook.
No.
Stop using the Facebook and use the AirWreckRadio.com.
I do fear that. I do tell
Don't
you.
stop using the Facebook.
Don't stop using the Facebook.
Tickles us pink.
And if you like using your Facebook and that's how you're comfortable listening to us, don't fuck yourself over. Just keep listening the way you know how to listen. The only reason I just don't like the outline of the new front page, and most people that link from the Facebook are going to go directly to the player anyways.
Yeah.
But I worry about sending people to the AirWreckRadio.com for the release of the show because we aren't paying a whole lot of money for server bandwidth.
Yeah.
And I really worry about crashing the site because we over bandwidthed it. So please, if you still use Facebook or Stitcher or iTunes, continue to use that to stream the site. If you are new and it is easiest for you to stream us on the new website, feel free.
Someday
Please do.
soon, that website might have a live show with live chat.
Someday soon, that website not only will be have a live show with live chat, it will be the only source for AirWreck Radio, and everybody will have to go there or Stitcher, iTunes. Because someday we will server ourselves.
You want to link it through Facebook?
Well, it still will be,
all right.
but it'll be our own server. That other site that we just mentioned like 6 times that we love very much won't necessarily be as important a part of the show as they were before.
Oh, man, you're scaring me now.
But they don't pay us.
The future is scary.
Yes, because you know what the future holds?
Scariness.
Change. And change is always scary.
Monkey parts.
Oh, the change has come.
Scary.
The change. Oh, President Obama. Oh, no.
Like, wait, change
Sorry,
like
distracted.
money?
What? Huh?
What?
Huh?
The who?
Where?
I don't know.
I don't know. What? Were we doing a radio show?
There. I'm pretty sure that like.
Don't take me out anywhere. Just smash face first into the fucking segues. That's what you're known for.
Shut up! I'm trying. I'm pretty sure that we were talking about something you created, but it happens that you're not the only person who created something new for the show this week.
Ooh, I know. I'm so excited.
The shithead that fucked up the interview schedule,
some retard,
also made us a lovely intro song.
A new theme song for AirWreck Radio. Sit back, relax, and check it out.
Actually, get yourself a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal. Sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreck Radio.
Is that the new tagline?
That's the line.
Oh, I like
you
it.
like it? It's cereal. It's approachable to everybody.
Fuck yeah, I love cereal.
I'm gonna go get me some Frosted Flakes. Or
I want some Cocoa Puffs.
You go get you some fucking Cocoa Puffs. They're delicious. And then your milk at the end, you got like chocolate milk.
That's why I like the chocolate cereal. All right, let's sit back, relax. What's the line? I'm sorry, I gotta learn it.
Go get a spoon.
A spoon in a bowl.
No, I'm sorry. Go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreck Radio.
In front of faces, their lips begin a flapping. They talk about world and local news reports, and even Steph Michaels, cause she's a doggy whore. Cory says,
man, it's a goddamn joke. Corruption is abundant and the POTUS is a hoax. Stacy says, man, I'd like to act, but Americans are lazier than most, that's a fact.
So go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreck Radio.
So I'm curious to know, what do you think?
I wondered why I had to record that line separately, and you wouldn't tell me why. What did I just listen to? What just happened?
You just listened to our new theme song.
I'm not unimpressed.
That's a weird thing to say.
I don't have words for that. I know I'm playing the ever-loving hell out of it. That's
good.
I know that is the first piece of audio production outside of flapping your fucking gums that you've done. So I'm definitely playing the hell out of it because it takes some of the burden off of me.
Yeah. Well, you're always complaining that not enough people do all the work for you.
Exactly. I do that all the time.
And, I heard you sing on last week's episode.
Oh, God, I know.
And I was like, all right, I understand.
I'm toned down.
I'll steal it and morph it a little bit and throw a little bit of weird ass hip hop in there. Guess who didn't know that I had any of that in me? Me. And now everybody that listens to our show is like, he doesn't have that in him.
But I'm not unimpressed with the rhyme. I'm really not. I'm not unimpressed. In a nerdcore kind of way. I mean, you're not getting signed to Death Row Records.
I don't want to be.
But in a nerdcore kind of way, I'm not unimpressed with your lyrics. There's a video that MC Frontalot posted on Twitter of one of his friends in another band wearing his glasses, emulating his rap techniques. It was just the guy going rap, rappity rap, rap, rap. I couldn't stop watching. It was a 6-second Vine video. I could not stop watching.
I didn't video this 2 hours of my life I spent on it.
Yeah, production takes a long time, doesn't it?
It went pretty smooth. I just had to our good Facebook friend Kenneth Nobles.
Yes,
a
good liker.
An effects board for a microphone, and it is complicated as all get out, man.
I would like to see this thing and play with it a little bit.
It's I've used it a couple of times with my guitar, and I was like, wow, this thing's awesome. And then I read on it that it was like vocals. I'm like, really?
Yeah, that was the whole
check
point
that out.
Of that.
I'm never gonna find the setting I used to make that ever again. It's gone. See you, bye.
See ya. I would like a chance to fiddle around with that, seeing that I am the audio engineer and technician for the show.
Oh, well, it's been there every show we've ever done. Except for the ones we've done.
And not every one we've ever done, because you said a long time ago that we were going to get it, and then you've never actually told me that you got it.
I did, so?
No,
I bet we have audio of it.
I bet you we don't.
Let's go back and find it and make people listen to us search stuff.
All right, sound effects. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do.
Wayne's World is here tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in for a special show.
So one of our researchers, one of our loyal Wreckhead researchers, who eventually we're going to give a job to in the AirWreckRadio newsroom. But they can go back through the archives, look it up for us. I'm sure somebody will.
I think it's on episode 1 through 3, so nobody's got it.
No, 1 through 3 were the episodes that we talked about getting it, not the episodes that we would have actually had it. It would have been 4 and beyond that we actually had it.
Whatever. Hey, you know who looks like Bill Murray? Rupert Sheldrake looks like Bill Murray.
Who the hell is... Okay. Who the hell is that?
Bill Murray?
No,
I know who Bill Murray is. He was a zombie that got shot. Double tap.
Double tap.
Rupert Sheldrake theorized morphic memory. Have you heard morphic memory?
No.
It's fun stuff. They have in Australia and also everywhere else, wherever there's like large pastures and shit that run with there's roads, they put these grates across the road so that hoofed animals can't get across the road, and whenever they try, they like fall. It doesn't hurt the hell out of them, but it scares the hell out of them. It scares them so much that they, after this or after seeing another animal do it, they're like, nah, I ain't even going near that fucking grate in the road. Screw it. I'll just eat the grass on this side. It's not that on green. It's so convincing. This grate is so effective at stopping animals that they've used painted ones. Painted on the road, like for the road runner. And it worked. They wouldn't go across the ones painted on the road. Not
ones that had already been exposed to real grates and had fallen or seen others.
It's so instinctively ingrained in them at this point that they just wouldn't even, none of them would go anywhere near, even the painted ones. And they've been using this for like 56 years. And then in Australia, on one side of the country, they saw a sheep like lay down and roll across the fucking street.
Okay.
He like laid down, roll across. No sheep had ever beaten this fucking device before. Ever. A week later, on the other side of the country, another sheep did. And it was like, this is the first time ever in 50 some odd years of using this, and in a week, 2 sheep on opposite sides of a continent.
Within a week, so no time for genetic learning, no time for instinctual process.
No, these were like just 2 sheep that couldn't have come in any contact. They just both learned it at the same time. and they call it morphic memory, and it's theorized. It's treated as a pseudoscience by a lot of science, but it's they tested it on rats and found it true, and then they tested it on people by making them do the the London Times crossword puzzle, which is like a super duper hard crossword puzzle. They made a test group, a large test group, do this crossword puzzle, and they found the people that could do it quickly in say an hour or more. If they were made to take the next week's one 2 days after other people had done it, they did it significantly faster. Without, like, they were, not allowed to have it or restricted, and they did it significantly faster, and it's theorized that it's because other people had done it on release day or the day after.
Almost like a cosmic connection,
like a spiritual kind of, it's not even spiritual. It's just.
You say cosmic, I say cosmic, you say spiritual, I say there's no difference between the two words we just used.
It's like, it just travels on the electrons that pass between us or something. I don't know.
The string theory of the whole thing.
I don't know.
That's way above us, and thank God we have astrophysicist
Heard
Tom
it on
Allen
the
next week.
Awesome podcast I've ever heard.
Ever.
And they're awesome. Listen to Smodcast. It's good stuff.
Particularly education.
Mm-hmm.
Smodcast is Smodcast Internet Radio is a large conglomerate of many different podcasts, all of which are entertaining.
Yes.
You can listen to Smodcast itself, which is a show, or Edumacation, all hosted by the brilliant Kevin Smith.
Heard it there. Thought it was an awesome story. Wanted to share it with the few people that listen to us that don't also listen to that.
It's very string theory, I think. It's very interconnective. It's very the energy. It's very the powers that be.
It potentially confirms that there is something a little bigger than just, you're not just all
There's
alone.
a connectivity that is bigger than us.
You're not just encapsulated in your body.
Yeah, there's a higher consciousness that we're already connected to.
The more I think about it, the more I think simple thoughts tonight. Not very simple at all.
No, actually, very complicated, deep pot talk theories.
It was a simple conversation to start with, and then it turned out not to be.
Well, that's what happens when two people think that there's an interesting idea here.
It was an interesting idea. I was like, I listened the hell out of that.
That's an interesting concept. What else you want to talk to me about on simple thoughts?
Special thoughts.
Special thoughts. Special thoughts. Because I'm Cory and I want to run a radio show.
Why is your retard gay?
Because I like the cocks and I don't know what's going on.
No.
Why is your sympathetic voice gay?
I don't have another simple thought tonight. That simple thought was it blew my mind.
It blew my mind.
I'm all done.
The simple thought that I wanted to touch on a few simple thoughts. One was new dino-discovery.
Oh, that's right.
We have found a new dinosaur. I think that's awesome.
Dinosaurs. It's what's for dinner.
It was a hold on, I gotta pull up my notes. But it was a recent discovery in Utah. The new big-nosed horned dinosaur was found. Official name Nasutu ceratops. Nostril Nasutu ceratops titusi. Titusi. Titusi.
It's got boobs in its name. Hey, I wanted to make a quick joke. I'm sorry to derail you with it, but I thought of it and I can't let it. Just
let him give it to me, brother.
Who taught they taw putty tat? Utah.
Utah. Paleontologists have discovered a new dinosaur, a Triceratops relative with a supersized schnozo. Though once roamed present-day Utah.
Snuffleupagus.
So we found a new dinosaur. It's got a big nose, a lot of interesting horns. Just as a nerd, I thought this was really interesting.
Wait, but it's not really new, because, like...
Well, I mean, clearly it's very, very old.
Do they have a photo of one?
Yeah, you can find that online. Just go ahead and throw in new dinosaur in Google.
They have a photo of a new dinosaur?
Yeah, they have a photo.
Awesome.
Live action.
Cool. I thought that this was going to be about the Texas Longhorn connection to the
I didn't know you mentioned that, and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Me neither. But I heard it somewhere, and I didn't listen very well.
So we'll have to look that up for the next show now that you mentioned it.
Maybe. Next show is about space. We can tie that in with like an asteroid and a rock band.
I can totally tie that in because of star matter. I learned an interesting fact this week that gold in the universe is created by two neutron stars smashing into each other violently.
Yeah.
That's how gold is created, and that is how the gold on our planet. That is how the gold on our planet exists. Gold's its own element.
Yeah, it's too heavy. It doesn't get made in stars.
Yeah, no, it
comes from the collision of two
neutron stars, as opposed to like carbon or iron that gets created by stars.
Helium.
So clearly, everything can be connected to space talk because everything is made of star bits.
Yeah, we already knew that. That fucking Darwin of Space said it.
I understand that. I'm
not going to say the quote. Because I don't know it.
Oh my God.
And I'm not going to say the guy's name who said the quote because I can't remember it.
But, God damn it, I got so irritated with you picking on me that I forgot where the fuck was going. Star bits.
Something about Dave Matthews Band, I think.
Oh, no. I wasn't educating you on the star bits so much as I was on the segues. There's a segue anywhere, sir. You can find it, I promise you. I'm getting better and better at it every day.
Yeah?
Yes.
Every day, huh?
Every day I get better and better.
Teeny tiny increments.
Well, yeah, it's not a, extremely marginally measurable amount, but...
You got to use your cilia to propel yourself before you can walk,
We've done... Well, of course. Well, clearly you do. It's been 11 episodes of AirWreck Radio, so that's 11 weeks of AirWreck Radio. Clearly, if you go from the first episode to this one, you could maybe kind of measure how much better it is.
Nobody's heard the first episode except for me a million times. And you're right. You're absolutely correct.
You could probably maybe measure that.
You could measure that in volume. You could actually pour the first episode into a show. Or into a calendar.
We could fit it into a break. It was 45 minutes long.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You were such a pussy about doing times then.
Well, I had done research.
I know.
And then I forgot that I didn't give a fuck about research because I was doing whatever I wanted to do.
That's true.
Anyways, that was longer than I wanted to go on Dinosaur Simple Thoughts. Anyways, and there's my last simple thought that I want to touch on. There's a crying thing somewhere in the world today. With a cute little button nose.
A baby was born today.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter to anyone.
Nope.
Anywhere except its parents and family.
Yep.
For now.
Yeah, until it's just another kid.
Congratulations, parents of a new baby.
Prince of England.
Maybe there was other babies.
I'm sure there were lots and lots and lots and lots of other babies, but the commentary you're trying to make...
Chinese people born today.
I have no faith in our listeners' intelligence, so I'm going to explain it to them. The commentary you're trying to make...
Thanks for joining us, listeners. We're going to miss you. It was cool while it lasted. I thought you were smart. Cory says you're a bunch of fucking company twats.
They're listening to us. Clearly, they can't be that intelligent.
I don't know about that. They figured out how to use Stitcher.
A prince was born. They did figure out how to use Stitcher. And good for Stitcher. Stitcher rules. Except for the one person that I know who doesn't like Stitcher. They're like, man, it sucks.
Well,
use Spreaker.
Use iTunes. Use Spreaker. Use Facebook. I don't care.
Use Spreaker. That's all I know.
Just whatever you do, send us emails.
Yes, you need to send us emails. But I have a new email address for you folks.
Oh, no.
I know. You can still send your emails to AirWreckRadio@gmail.com. You can still send your emails to AirWreckRadio@mail.com. Linger longer for the people who remember the first 3 episodes.
Oh, linger. Oh. Thief. Stop, thief.
No thief. The new email address to which you might email us to get us flowers. AirWreckRadio@AirWreckRadio.com. Oh, wait, that's too complicated?
That's a lot of letters.
There's too many letters there for you? Just go to AirWreckRadio.com, scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll see a forum. In that forum, you'll be able to enter your address and a comment. And if you
forearm?
A forearm, yes. If you enter your address and a comment, guess what will happen to you?
We'll send you toothpicks.
Huh?
I don't know. This just seemed like a time for a new bit. We'll send you all the bottle caps from one
AirWreck
episode.
It's a lot of bottle
That's
caps.
probably going to cost a little bit in postage. So
Yeah, buddy, that's a lot of caps.
maybe time to pick up a cue from our friends over at Second Prince and put a donate button. I'm kidding. AirWreck heads were never ever.
I refuse to beg the wreck heads for money. I will, however, beg other people for money as soon as the wreck heads make it clear enough that there is a force, that there is a growing motion.
Oh, I'll sell things.
That there are people out there who are not only willing to listen, but devote their very lives to this show, our ever-growing movement, the existence that is AirWreck Radio. But to be part of that, you have to go to the Facebook.com/AirWreckRadio. You need to go there. You need to like us. But not only that, you need to share. You need to share everything interesting that you see. You need to share everything of any kind of comedic or intellectual value. You need to share it. You need to like it. You need to comment on it. You need to do your best to be our hooers.
Whoas.
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 Stay with us.
That was very evangelic.
Whoas?
No. Your speech.
Oh, thank you. Stay with us. Still coming up are our usual headlines and an interview that I am so personally looking forward to. I can't not come out of my skin. We're going to interview my dear friend, former comedian and radio personality, Beth Donahue-Weedman. All this and more only on AirWreck Radio.
Billy Hickok was a boy from Illinois when he set out to do his best. As a guide he sailed along the trails that were etched in the dust of the West. When war broke out, Bill became a scout, but gambling had seized his soul. With cards and colts in his hands, while Bill became a man who would fight till his last hand folded. When it can close his weary eyes, when it can lay his body down. In Springfield Square, gunfire filled the air. Bill shot Davy Tutt through the heart. The duel was set over a game of cards, yet Bill pleaded self-defense from the start. To the papers he claimed 100 men named, never killing without good cause or reason. But the cruel demands of the blood on his hands beat Bill down worse than gambling or drinking. When can he close his weary eyes? When can he lay his body down? For a while Hickok rode with Buffalo Bill Cody, shooting blanks in the Wild West show. But Bill's mind kept drifting to the life he was missing and the glow of an ace in the hole. Back to Dakota he came with his tarnished fame, finding trouble wherever it was hidden. Keeping his back to the wall, Bill watched them all, though his days were not filled with foreboding. That it will close his weary eyes, that it will lay his body down. washing in the first week of August in the back of the Deadwood Saloon. Bill sat down at poker with a bottle of liquor, drew the cards that foretold his doom. He didn't suspect the gun held at his neck by the brother of a man he'd killed and forgotten. All he felt was the chill before his blood spilled of the aces and eights he was holding. Now he can close his weary eyes. Now he can lay his body down. Now he can close his weary eyes. Now he can lay his body down.
Bienvenidos a todos nuestros nuevos amigos latinos. Esperamos que usted habla inglés, porque no hay subtítulos en radio. Esperamos que disfrute de AirWreckRadio.
Oh, hello. Welcome to AirWreckRadio. It's gonna be a wonderful show. It's already been wonderful. We're so excited to have you here. It's time for headline news.
Headline news.
That's right, everybody. Headline news. What do we got for headlines this week, Corey?
Well, I know that you wanted to talk about that.
There was a little bit of sports news.
That little bit of sports news that you brought up earlier.
We don't have the NFL's really been dropping a ball on us. We started a bit. We called it the NFL Offseason Player of the Week. Did it 1 week. Nobody got arrested since. Until then, 32 players had been arrested. That's more than one per week on average.
Yeah.
Up until that point. And then we started the bit, and the NFL players were like, you know what? AirWreckRadio's right. It's time to clean up our act, boys. It's training season now. We gotta buckle down and do some football. Well, you know who didn't get the memo? The boys over at Ohio State University who had 2 arrests. That's 2 times the fun.
2 times. Double mint twins.
Tim Gardner was arrested for obstruction of official business. It's official business.
Don't obstruct it.
You can't be obstructing
Or
here,
you're going
sir.
to jail.
You're in a no obstruction zone.
Knock it off.
I don't have any details on this case. Didn't do any research.
Don't want any of it. All I want to know is that this is the end of sports news.
Nope. He was arrested Saturday, June 20th. The next day, out of Ohio State University. For those with short attention spans, that's the same university we just spoke about. A man
wait for me to kick the table.
A man named Bradley Bobby, who has a stupid fucking name, got arrested also for
Bradley Bobby.
Bradley Bobby.
Bradley Bobby.
I'm Bradley Bobby. I'm sorry. It's Bradley Robbie. It's even worse.
Bradley Robbie? I'm Bradley Robbie.
He, maybe he was a rugby player. I don't know. But now he plays football. Well, actually, now he's arrested for battery resulting in bodily injury.
Oh, well, usually when you batter someone, it results in injury of the body type sort.
I battered him. His body was injured.
Yeah, that's usually how that works.
From there. I saw white, and then I woke up in the police office.
Yeah, and these nice men were asking my name.
So there's your sports news for tonight.
Sports news.
Now it's time for headline news.
Headline news.
Fun stuff in the news this week. I think. What do you want to? I want to start with the drone story.
You want to start with drones?
Yeah, that's fun.
I have a follow up to that, so let's go ahead.
I love
and
these
start
people.
with drones.
If for the folks who don't know, in a place called Deer Trail, Colorado.
I love that name. Deer Trail, Colorado. I love that.
There's not a single thing about this story I don't love. Just to give you a reason to love Deer Trail, Colorado, just a little above and beyond this story. They actually hosted the world's first rodeo in 1869.
Fun facts.
Since then...
Still haven't made that production.
We don't need it. It's so easy to do live. Since then, a man named Philip Steele...
Steels, yes. Philip Steels, yep.
A man named Philip Steele... Is it Steels? I have Steele.
No, Steele. You're
okay. Right. He doesn't like this whole drone thing. I don't blame him. Not one bit. He's just a citizen, and he proposed this bill. This bill suggests that hunters pay a $25 fee.
I love this.
To get a hunting license.
A drone hunter's license.
Specifically for drone hunting. What season is it? It's duck
drone
season. It's wabbit season.
It's the U.S. government season. That's
Skynet season. So, in Deer Trail, Colorado, a fine patriot, Philip Steele, proposed this bill. $25 gets you a drone hunting permit. With a $100 pelt prize to anyone who shoots down a drone and can prove it by bringing a federally stamped piece of the drone to, I guess, the game warden. I don't know. I don't know who you bring that
who
to.
pays that? That's what my question was going to be.
I don't think that... Well,
it's a federal offense, so who pays it?
It comes out of the award money comes out of the $25...
Oh, okay.
The dues fees.
Yeah.
But... the odds of there ever being a drone over Deerfield, Colorado...
They got shot down by an amateur hunter.
...are still zero. I mean, not to bring it back to the Superman Man of Steel thing, but have you ever seen a drone in scale with people? Because I saw that movie and now I have a pretty good idea that they are much larger than they look in photos.
It depends what kind of drones you're talking about. There's two different types of drones.
Well, the one Superman knocked down was pretty big. But the little helicopter ones with the cameras are not very big.
Those are surveillance drones, and guess what?
You could take those down with a shotgun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And guess what? That was my little sidebar for your drone story. Guess what local company creates the software for those little black helicopter ones?
I hope it's Kodak.
It's SkyOp, a local company who develops software and is coming up with new ways to market towards the public, because in 2015, the ban on drones will be lifted and it will be legal for private citizens to own them. Other than, I know for a military fact, there's a radio personality that I listen to who owns the one, whether it's legal or not.
I guarantee that the independent governments of our states and I mean, is this a federal law? No, it's a federal ban. Okay, I guarantee.
Yes, I was nodding. I was fucking nodding into a microphone like that made any sense on that radio.
Whatever, it worked for me. I guarantee that Congress will not fail to continue the ban on that, even though they did fail to stop the sequester. I'm saying these fucking ass clowns can't stop anything except for shit that is retarded. If you can have drones, why can't I have drones? There's a Second Amendment argument to be made there.
Yes, that's what I discussed with my father. We were watching the news story together. And I looked, and they said that people were worried that in 2015, when the ban lifted, and that anybody could develop drones and sell them and own them, that it'd be a lot like, the Big Brother 1984 Orwell reference that's been made a lot on this show lately. But I'm not the one. I refer to other people who are making it.
It's a common thing to think about these days.
I find it the other way around. I find the fact that the U.S. government is allowed to do it, and that you and I are not allowed to do it, I find that very Big Brother.
Well, we're not allowed to do it unless we're doing it.
Yes, you are. You are federally restricted from owning surveillance drones.
Oh, yeah, no, drones, yeah.
You are federally restricted from owning surveillance drones. You are not allowed to surveil your neighborhood. You are not allowed to surveil your property with this particular device. But I could own 100 cameras, stick them to every inch of my house,
also,
and the trees in the mailbox. I could put a camera. It's my mailbox.
Yeah,
I could put a camera in if I want. But I can't own a drone that I could program to do a surveilled perimeter around my property.
The FAA's argument against this,
I heard this.
The same argument that they gave in response to this Phillips Steel bill, and that's the standard package safety. Well, if people start having these things, they're going to start crashing them into shit, and then people are going to get hurt. We got to keep folks safe. Now, I'm not sure that I want everybody to have drones, but
not everyone will be able to afford drones, dude. They're expensive.
Kind of freedom. That's kind of like that's what freedom is about. Is that like I don't want everybody to, but that's not. I don't not want it strong enough to like stop you from having it.
We all know how much I love the free market monetary system. We all know how much Cory loves the whole fucking deal with the paying things for things. We all know. But that's one of those things that free market actually is good for. You say you don't want everybody to own a drone, and not everybody will own a drone. You're so expensive.
Until it's an Xbox add-on.
But by that point, they'll be so accepted, safe, controlled, and understood that it will no longer be a safety issue.
$200 or $300 could get you one that could run off your iPhone right now.
Not to the level that we're talking.
No, but it's still a hobbyist can be a fucking peeping Tom for $200.
We've allowed to have remote control helicopters forever.
Yeah, but with cameras.
You can put a camera on it. The difference is the range. The difference is the range of the device. You can put a camera on your remote control helicopter. Nobody could ever stop you from doing that. I believe they sell ones with them in them. The difference is the range. Drones go a whole lot further.
They fly higher and generally faster too.
Way faster.
Yeah.
I've seen that said radio personality has got videos online of his drone, and it is way wicked fast.
Oh, I know who it is.
He's an Italian. No. He's an Italian. He's Italian guy from a show that I reference a lot. One of my favorite morning shows.
Oh, The Sopranos.
No, yeah, well, he gets in trouble a lot. The morning show gets in trouble a lot.
Oh.
There's the Italian guy from that show. The really racist one. I've seen videos of his drone, dude.
He's really racist. I think he uses discretion.
I think he's
to the point of discrimination.
I think the joke is that he's racist. That's the gag that I'm willing to play into, and moved on with the drone story.
Oh, well, you wanted to start talking about their fucking radio show. I fucking wanted to get on that conversation too.
Well, I have to avoid on this. I have to stop myself from talking about other radio because that's all I ever want to fucking do.
What are we gonna do during our guest tonight?
What? Not talk about radio?
Yeah.
Of course, she was on the radio. We're gonna talk about radio.
Oh, I see. We're saving it for later.
Bingo.
Got it. Got it.
But we're going to touch on radio because she was also a stand-up comedian and just a generally interesting, great person to talk to.
Yeah.
Yes, and I miss her very much, and I'm glad that I'm going to have a chance to get on the phone with her and badger her incessantly.
I'm looking forward to the interview.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That makes two of us. What other headline news do you want to go into? Because I figured that I have one story that I really want to talk about. Past that, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, is it the royal baby?
No, that's not the goddamn
No,
story I
not
want to
the
talk
news.
about.
It's not the newsworthy thing you wanted to talk about?
No.
How about in the United Arab Emirates, a place that we've talked about before as being home to a lot of surprisingly forward thinking, including
Up until this story.
including in Abu Dhabi, another member of the United Arab Emirates. Huh. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, buddy.
They gotta and their abbreviation is the UAE. That's too many vowels, man. It's like UAE.
Yeah. That's almost a word. Yeah.
That's not a word in any language. What a mess. Anyway, in Dubai, they have a lot of forward thinking stuff going on there. Most of their employees most of their population is out of country workers and visitors, and they run a huge tourism is a huge part of their economy. Maybe think twice before you schedule that visit to Dubai.
Whoa, I just looked up the numbers that you sent me earlier. 2,106,177 population, 17%
are UAE citizens.
Amazing.
That's locals.
That's amazing, dude. That's incredible.
54% are Indians.
Wow, dude. That's
all just there on work permits and stuff. They're maybe I don't know how it works over there as far as work permits, but only 17% of the population is citizens, and their law is really Islamically based, which is weird because their governments are leaning towards this Western thing. They have the tallest skyscrapers.
Oh, those are cool buildings.
They've got that great city in Abu Dhabi. In Dubai.
And the world's
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and the world's largest trading bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have a lot of really westernized things going on there. But in counterpoint to that, they have this really strong Islamic law base. I'll give you the example that this news story is about. A 24-year-old Norwegian woman, an interior decorator named Deborah Dalev, you think?
I was going to go with Del Elf.
She was sentenced to 16 months in jail. She was visiting on a business trip or something like that. She's an interior decorator. She's a 24-year-old woman from
Norwegian
Norway.
too.
She's just there to do some business.
I hope she's blonde with big boobies.
And she ended up doing 16 months.
Wrong joke.
Maybe not for this one. She's not unattractive, but I feel guilty saying it because of what's coming up. She was sentenced to 16 months in jail for having extramarital sex after she reported being raped. She reported to the hotel staff that she was at that she had been raped by somebody. I think it might have been more than one person. And the hotel staff was like, "Are you sure that you want us to involve the police?" And she was like, "Of course I want you to involve the police." And who wouldn't be? She was raped. They did a rape test on her. They did a alcohol test because that's what they do in that country when somebody accuses somebody of rape.
Well, that's not unreasonable.
Well, it's not unreasonable. You're right.
As soft Americans, we were like, "Whoa!" No, reality, the fact is that's not unreasonable.
Hell, we let them do alcohol tests for no fucking reason at all.
On the side of the fucking road, forcefully take your blood. So,
I don't want to get sidetracked.
All right.
So, pretend like you don't know the answer. Okay. They got her rapist. They got this guy, or guys. No, it's only one guy. And they arrested him, and he served a jail sentence. How long do you think? She got 16 months for having extramarital sex while being raped.
So she got caught up in some ancient loophole in the Muslim tradition. She got the short end of the stick, and I'm sure they did the best they could with the written law. She got 16 months. That's probably so. This guy got at least 4 years for rape.
It's not outside of Islamic law to cut people's hands off for stealing a loaf of bread.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Islamic-based law.
Yeah. How long did you think this guy?
3-4 years for rape since she got,
Could be.
I don't agree with the law that she got 16 months. I don't agree with the law, but I could see where she got caught up in some archaic kind of leftover thing.
He did 12 months.
I'm sorry, what?
She did 16 months.
16.
To put that in terms
a year and 4 months.
Who aren't doing the math, a year and 4 months. He did 12 months.
A year.
1 year. This woman was raped, and then she spent 16 months in jail for having extramarital sex in a country that bases the largest portion of its economy on tourism.
And resident aliens.
And non-Islamic people. And because of this law that is absurd to anybody with
83%.
any kind of sense of what justice is from a Western standpoint. When I say Western, I mean like Roman. Like as far back as we have history.
You mean the things that we've based our government and ideological beliefs on?
Western government is not actually Western government.
It's Greek and Roman governments.
Greek and Roman government. And the idea that this woman, Deborah Delaviv,
I don't know.
Debbie D.
Delelv.
Yeah, that's it.
Poor Debbie D.
Mm-hmm.
Poor old Debbie D.
Not even old, 24 years old. Young woman.
Poor, and I'm sure attractive. She's Norwegian.
This could, honestly, dude, this could be my wife.
Oh, thank you.
She could be on a trip to goddamn Batavia, and some shit like this could happen if Batavia was run by.
Yeah, no, not on a trip to Batavia. We live in this country.
I'm saying, this woman was not too far removed from what my wife does for a living.
Yeah, no, not really. No, yeah, no.
And that's scary business, man.
Your wife's on the more technical end of things, but yeah.
But she has to travel and go to stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. And inspect things and all that. Yeah.
That's scary, man. I mean, this is not in America. This is Dubai.
It amazes me how many countries around the world don't have equal rights for women. And as Americans, we just think that not only are we so accepting of that thought, we just think that that's the way it is. They're human beings. They're
right.
Of course, they're equal to us.
Absolutely,
they have the important part, and I know it's important because that's the part that I'm always looking for.
The wallet. Oh wait, no, that's
the part they were looking for on us. But it amazes me how many countries outside of the fuck it, we're on the internet. Outside of the white English-speaking countries, women's rights are almost a joke in most. Outside of, I'll give the Latin Catholics and the Indian people. Outside of those cultures, white English-speaking cultures, Latins and Indian.
Indian Native American or Indian?
Indian.
Those people have it terrible. Are you kidding me? They're so poor. They're like, I heard a number today.
No, I'm talking about how they treat their women.
Fun number, anyway.
Those people are poor. I know. The country's falling apart. I'm talking about how the men treat their women.
1,700 people for every toilet.
That's
in India.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had that little.
I might have one.
Not so fun fact. Fun fact.
Yeah. So before you go getting all, India's great. They got all the
No. But I'm talking
They have way less toilets than.
But I'm talking about the way they treat their women. Through my experience, I don't know what official policy is, and I'm sure there'll be some listener
with 17,000 people per toilet. I guarantee that seat don't get put down. Nobody's got time for that.
We've had these conversations, but I'm sure some listener is going to get on the Facebook and tell me what an idiot I am. And goddamn, do I love when that happens.
It's me.
But outside of white English-speaking countries, the Latin countries, who seem to do very well with their women, and Indians, I mean, they've got female deities, so I assume that they are going to treat their women with a little more respect than a lot of other countries. But most other countries do not. I mean, even countries you would think of that are like white Christian countries. I said white English-speaking countries. Germany and Russia are perfect examples of those. Germany's being much more progressive for a European country in the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah, we are very progressive now. No more evil is here. We've got to
yeah, exactly, because they're being so progressive because they're trying to get rid of that evil.
We are not stuffing ashtrays anymore.
5,000 Jews in a Cadillac.
Stalin killed twice as many people as Hitler. Just saying.
Stalin killed 40 million people?
That's a number I heard today.
40 million?
No, I didn't hear the number. I heard twice as many people.
Okay, because as far as I remember from school.
Well, school.
And I'm sure
everything they say.
And I'm sure somebody's going to go to Facebook, you're a fucking idiot. But it was 6 million it was 6 million Jews, which was the largest single group of people. And 20, I know, that's why I have pop filters. And 20 million total.
Headphones are fun.
Yeah. And 20 million total killed by Hitler's Nazi regime.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the Germans.
I don't know if it was 12 million or 40 million.
Well, you said Stalin, which would be Russian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that Italian? Who was the Italian one? In the axis of evil before George Bush was called.
God damn it. I know.
Oh, we
too.
suck.
Oh, I know this. Come on. Why can't I come up with it?
Geppetto.
It was not Geppetto.
Ludwig von Geppetto.
You listened to the same fucking podcast that I did.
It doesn't matter.
With the Geppetto reference. God, Mussolini. Mussolini was the Italian. Mussolini.
Who's got a vowel?
He was a socialist. Trains run on time. Making the trains run on time. That was their tagline.
Yes.
I forgot where I was going with this statement.
Folks listening,
to AirWreck
I'd like
Radio.
to say, you're welcome.
Yeah, for derailing me?
Yes.
Oh, no, I wanted to go to Pussy Riot. We were talking about women's rights around the country.
Oh, that's right.
And I was trying to segue to Pussy Riot.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going because you didn't tell me.
No,
I sent
sure
you
did.
emails about everything I'm doing.
I know, and I told you, I did nothing this week.
You could have just texted me Pussy Riot. I would have known just what you were talking about.
The Pussy Riot thought literally just came into my head as we were talking about the rape in Dubai lady.
Yeah, because that's a very similar story.
About women's rights.
I mean, it's not really, nobody got raped, but
they got imprisoned for speaking out for women's rights and the separation of church and state.
I guess they got figuratively raped.
Yeah, figuratively they totally got. It's like, when you're playing Halo, man, and some guy comes out and hits you with I don't know any of the Halo weapons.
I've never played Halo.
Neither
I'm an
do
Xbox guy, never played Halo. Somewhere in America, some fucking nerd just fucking bit it.
No, all I was doing was stealing a Dane Cook joke. That's all I was doing.
That's why would you steal it? Whatever.
Because I was hoping that I'd be able to do it better, but I couldn't remember the name of any of the weapons, so I fucked it up. I fail. What else is new? It's the story of my life.
So, what happened to Pussy Riot for our listeners who might not know?
Oh, okay. Pussy Riot is not a band. However, they do perform punk rock. They are an anonymous protest group.
Not that anonymous. They got arrested.
They were anonymous until their masks got pulled off. But they performed punk rock, whose lyrics spoke out against the combination of church and state, which is something that is happening with Putin.
We could play one of their
Prime
songs
Minister.
because we're doing a story.
We could anyways. They wouldn't go after us.
Right. They wouldn't.
They would not go after us for rights.
That's because they're in Russian jail.
I don't speak Russian, and I don't like punk rock. The music, to me, is irritating at best. But I will absolutely play a Pussy Riot song because I might not like their music, but I certainly like what they stand for. They write lyrics against the the combination of church and state. They write lyrics against Putin, their prime minister, and they write lyrics encouraging a feminist movement in Russia because there has never been one. And they are apparently females are not treated with the greatest amount of respect in those countries, in the former Soviet Republic countries.
Their religion is really running the show these days.
But it's Christian. I mean, it's Orthodox form.
It's Catholic, but
it's
whatever
still
it
Christian.
is, it's like one of those.
It's an Orthodox form.
It's one of those kind of. They got it kind of old schoolsy feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's Christian. I think it's an Orthodox Christian, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but it's old school, hardcore. It's
whatever it is. It's a little outdated, and it's proved in the fact that these women got arrested just for served long jail terms for.
They've already done 6 months before their trial came up,
and they were held to a long sentence with no charges levied against them, which is that's something we think of in America as being like. You're not supposed to do that, but in Russia, obviously, it's a little different. They have their own laws and such. I heard a fun quote from Vladimir Putin. That has nothing to do with this topic. I can't recall what topic it was, but I thought it was awesome. He said something is like shearing pigs. You get a lot of screaming and not much wool. I don't know. I don't remember what he was.
I don't know, but I like the screaming and not a lot of wool.
It might have been some Snowden thing. I'm not sure.
It was probably a direct rip against the United States because for some reason Russia's felt like being uppity lately. I don't know what that's.
Well, he's kind of a prick.
Uppity twat.
Yeah.
Company twat.
He's kind of a prick, Vladimir Putin, anyway. But I mean, I don't know that I can. As myself, hold that against him.
Yeah, well, no, being who you are, you couldn't hold that against anybody.
You had a news story.
I was just about to take the segue. Ha! Thank you for smashing into it face first.
Segues are my territory.
I know, and you do them so horribly. I love it. What I was going to say is living in those kind of conditions must be a real hellhole. A hellhole that you couldn't imagine living in. Just dilapidated buildings and almost absent law enforcement. Government employees that haven't been paid in months, willing to take bribes, willing to take kickbacks, anything to survive because they have families to feed. It's just got to be a horrible, just hell of a sci-fi comic book esque city to exist in. Kind of like
Moscow.
I was going with Detroit. Oh, and it's not a joke. I'm not being a dick. I'm not picking on Detroit. I have no qualms with Eminem or Kid Rock.
But RoboCop.
Fuck RoboCop. Yeah, but Detroit this week filed for bankruptcy.
What?
The largest city in the United States. Not the first city, but the largest.
By what measure?
By population and corporate income.
Really?
They're the first municipality incorporated. Corporized is not a word.
Fuck them to corporate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Incorporated municipality that has gone down. Other wonderful places involved Jefferson County, Alabama, and San Bernardino, California. But Detroit is by far the largest city to declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
So what does that mean?
They not only cannot afford to continue to make payroll, they cannot afford pension, they cannot afford health care. They're not going to make it anytime soon. So what's coming up is a discussion of a large bailout.
Oh.
And you say that like that, and I said the same thing. I was like, God.
I feel better about it being for a municipality.
But paying for a city, paying for, like, I can see bailing out. That's what my point was going to be. We all went, another bailout, because we saw how well it worked for corporate America.
Do you have numbers, population numbers?
No, I don't. I did not look any of that up.
It's a good job.
I just know that Detroit filed for bankruptcy on the 19th, I believe. 19th. I swear to God, I keep calling it. It's going to be modern day Gotham City. It's not. I'm not joking. It's going to be police. The cops. If they can't afford to pay the cops, you'll be lucky if they show up because they're feel obligated by some kind of duty as police officers to show up. But you'll get response times like 2-3 hours for the cops to show up because there's just so many of them and so much going on.
My God, it's like getting an ambulance in England.
What? Huh?
Yeah, in England, you have a better chance of a pizza getting to you in a half hour than you do of an ambulance.
That's a half hour.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
Well, it's just a fact that I happen to have on hand.
Did you just happen to find that when you were looking up Cleveland's population
No, I
numbers?
already knew that.
Oh, that's an interesting little factoid.
Yes.
So today's show is just full of little fun facts.
Fun facts. Detroit's population, 706,585 as of 2011 census.
Okay. A lot. A lot. So we bailed out a major corporation that made the city tick. We were told that without this bailout, that corporation would crumble, and without that corporation, this city particularly kept using this name would crumble. They kept saying Detroit would fall off the map without the auto industry. Right? We have to bail them out.
Yeah. Did that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Detroit still fell off the map. What happened? You know what's next, dude? Chicago.
With a population of 2.7 million, which is much larger than the population of Detroit. Detroit, not the biggest population.
No, but I've heard people refer to Chicago as Chirac.
Oh,
because the not the west side of Chicago, the south and east sides of Chicago. Yeah, I know. Big Bad Leroy Brown. Big Bad Leroy Brown.
I can't see any soldiers that have been to Iraq calling Chicago Chirac.
No, but that's been the news stories and the blogs and the internet websites.
What if we gave it a cute name?
Chirac, yeah, it'll stick in.
Yeah.
But the crime rate is so ridiculous. But that's what's between poverty and crime. That's what's gonna pretty soon. Chicago goes bankrupt. Can't pay their cops.
That's the city that Barack Obama is from, isn't it?
Yes, that is the city that President Barack Obama.
Well, I should see a bailout coming for them, and I'm good with that. If you can't bail out your hometown,
what's the point of being president?
Why would you even be? I mean, I was good with Bill Clinton for that same reason. And
yeah, Little Rock, but Little Rock kind of needed a couple bucks. They're a shitty little town.
I was talking about the cigar thing. I was all right with that because he's the president. If you're the president, you can't, put a cigar in a lady's nethers. Who can?
I was totally cool with that. But I'm saying, no, if Little Rock needed a couple bucks, I would be okay with that because they're a shitty little town. Detroit shouldn't need federal money to stay afloat. We keep talking about these states' rights. Part of states' rights is individual responsibility for cities and municipalities. I don't see why federal government money should go to bail out a city. I know I would be more apt to want to bail them out than a corporation.
Well,
but I still don't. If the state wants to bail them out because it's part of their, absolutely.
If
federal,
but coming back, this is a Civil War issue, man. If the states are going to be denied the right to secede, then they need to be able to receive some recompense for that, and that should be in the form of financial aid when needed.
Yes, not
a little
fucking
security
bailouts, not bailouts for economic incompetence.
It's the benefit of being.
Yes, us sending you financial aid when a hurricane hits your city, a major city in your state, or us, your fertilizer plant explodes or whatever.
Well, what about when a hurricane of fucking douchebag bankers comes through your fucking town and destroys your goddamn economy because they are just concerned about their bottom line?
When your municipality, which is a corporation, the definition of municipality is a corporation run by a local government. So Detroit is an incorporated corporation run by a local government. if that local government cannot run said corporation responsibly, said corporation goes under. Unfortunately, and we're going to have a modern day Gotham. People will move out in mass exodus, minus the criminals that can't afford to move, and the poor folk and all that. And you'll have all that horrible shit that I was describing before. But in my head, that's ripe pickings to tear that shit the fuck down and try something different, a pilot program.
Very expensive.
But
I mean, like,
maybe I'm a little. What I'm saying is maybe I'm a little biased because the first American city that fails all the way is the first American city that gets torn down, and we try a pilot program. We try different ideas.
Well,
can't not look forward to that.
I don't know. It seems a little extreme, your viewpoint there, I gotta say. I understand the emotion attached, but I gotta sit down from a mathematician's point of view and say, what would it cost to tear down and rebuild Detroit in a beautiful new place for everybody to be, like, to just try something?
I'm going to be willing to bet a lot less than retrofitting. That's why all these new companies.
I don't believe it at all.
That's why all these. You're telling me that doesn't make any sense? That's why all these corporations, instead of buying old buildings and retrofitting them to fit their needs, build new ones?
Yeah, but you're talking about doing this instead of subsidized, like offering them a little help to get along.
No, what? Offering a little help and bailing somebody out are two different conversations.
That depends, I think, on who you're talking to.
I'm talking to you.
And
my point of view is that bailing somebody out and a little bit of help are different conversations. A couple of bucks towards education, helping you out for a major catastrophe. You got a big project that might really help you out. We got a couple of bucks to help you out. I'm okay with that on a federal level. I'm okay with that. But as far as paying your bills for you, now we've got cities on welfare. The government's paying your bills for you. We got cities on welfare now.
That's what happens when 1 in 13 working age people are on some sort of assistance.
Government assistance.
Yeah.
You're right.
Sooner or later, cities start dropping into it, too.
It's just now, but now we're entire cities, dude. What is the end of this? This is the end of our empire. This is the end of the empire. Watch it go.
I can't respond to that statement.
Why?
It's so broad spectrum.
I know. That's why I said it. I wanted you to respond to it.
Can't.
You admit 1 in 13 people on government assistance to the point where it's crippled large cities, to the point where large cities are now on government assistance. You don't think the system that we have is failing?
I think that people on the cusp of the wave always think it's going down. They think it all, it's the natural reaction to the present. The present is right before the future, and the future is fucking scary. All the time. You don't know what's coming tomorrow, so you're a little scared of it. Even in break it down to your own personal day-to-day life. Tomorrow's a little more scary than yesterday. Fact.
No question that's fact. That's just human nature.
People have always said.
You know damn well that I'm always looking towards the tomorrow. You know damn well how much that perspective stimulates me. But tomorrow's not what I'm talking about. Whatever comes tomorrow, and hopefully it's better than today. But today, the system is failing.
It depends on your perspective, Corey. I'm telling you, it depends. Look at it from 10 years from now. Look at it from 50 years from now. Perhaps it's not failing. The rotten fruit falls from the tree. It makes for the rest of the fruit to become strengthened. There's always going to be a portion that can't do it. And in this case, that portion happens to be concentrated. And I think they're concentrated because their economy is so very limited. Detroit, Motor City, USA. Well, guess what? Motor City, USA got hit real fucking hard a couple of years ago. Real hard. It catches up.
I'm sorry. You have further point to make?
No. I said I wasn't interested in refuting that fact.
But you started doing that.
Well, it doesn't really take a lot of words for me to be like, I fundamentally disagree with you.
Fair enough. I guess that's a good point. But with that point, I look down at the clock, and we are way over time.
Oh, real quick. Lasties. Real quick. If you're in Austin, Texas, stay away from Six Flags over Texas. You're gonna find
yes.
that they are not as much fun as they were a week ago. A woman named Rosie Esparza.
That's on you, buddy. I'm looking at it, and I'm not taking a shot.
Rosie Esparza, that's her name. She was getting on this roller coaster. I don't have the name of the roller coaster. It's like the big one at Six Flags over Texas. She was getting on it with her whole damn family. She's a pretty big woman, but in America, roller coaster attendants should be prepared for big people and not be so detached as to be like, oh, whatever.
You're fine, man. You're fine. You're good.
Fine. You're fine. She said, I don't think it clicked all the way. And the guy was like, you're fine. Yeah.
Well, clearly she's dead. So witnesses state that she said, I'm not sure this clicked all the way. And the guy said, you're fine. You're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Go,
you're
have
good.
fun. Enjoy.
And,
Enjoy.
I'll tell you what, man.
Right to that first sharp curve.
If that employee doesn't get...
And poor Seabreeze guy got caught whacking off. This guy killed somebody.
I hope the hell he wasn't white or black. God damn it. I hope he was some kind of Latino, just so this doesn't have to be like, it was a fucking hate crime.
Yeah, exactly.
He purposely didn't secure her fucking thing.
Please let this guy be Asian.
Yeah. Nobody thinks he purposely didn't secure this woman's. It's obviously a situation of neglect, and we're talking about amusement park rides. Let me tell you something.
With teenagers who run them.
Amusement park rides are similar to NASA space shuttle rides in that you experience similar forces, you're projected at high rates of speeds, and these things are run on tiny budgets. And they hire the cheapest, not even a fucked people. Go to Starbucks right now. I guarantee that every single person you see at Starbucks gives a shit a lot more than the people that work at any amusement park anywhere.
For $7 an hour.
Right. For shit for money. And but it doesn't really change the fact Rosie Esparza is dead today. Her whole family was on the ride. I had a joke. I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it? I thought it was...
Totally not going to do it.
You sent it to me in written form, and I read it in my head, and I thought it was a funny joke.
I thought it was a funny joke, too, but now I feel bad.
I'm not going to take it, though. I'm not going to do it for you. So.
There's no word yet on whether or not her family bought the photo from the ride cam.
I'm sorry. I love that joke.
I hate it. I hate that my brain thought of it, and then my ego wouldn't let me not say it.
Just everybody with their arms up going, ah! And just half of her in the frame
Don't give us a visual. Stop it. Knock it off. It's the radio. There's no need for visuals. Folks, thanks so much for joining us on AirWreck Radio. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at AirWreck Radio. Hit us up on the Facebook. We love likes. We're getting a bunch of them, and we love them. We love them.
Please tweet me at AirWreck Radio.
Please tweet Cory.
I love being tweeted.
He has no tweeters.
I would love to be tweeted some more.
Tweeters. When he drives in his car, it's all lows, no tweeters. Email us. Email me, airwreckradio@gmail.com or airwreckradio@airwreckradio.com.
Nice.
And give us your address. We'll give you flowers. Maybe it won't be flowers. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Ooh, I love the surprises.
Ooh, we're between the summer and the winter, so maybe you'll get a special fall treat.
I'm tired of flowers. I've sent so many goddamn flowers. I'm sick of it. I'm going to come up with something cooler than flowers.
Nice. You don't know anything cooler than flowers.
Not right now, but I'll think of something. You just give me a minute. So thanks again for joining us. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, I believe we're going to have a little guestie on the show.
Oh, I know. I'm so happy. I'm going to give my Bethy a call.
One Beth Donahue, a.k.a. Cory's superhero.
Yes. All right.
Stick in there. Hello?
Flowers? In the mail?
Email us at AirWreckRadio@gmail.com. Send us your address, I'll send you flowers. Or they could email AirWreckRadio at AirWreckRadio@gmail.com. If they did it with their address, I would send them flowers. If they didn't, I wouldn't.
Please email us at AirWreckRadio@gmail.com because I really want to see this fool across from me have to mail some flowers.
I will mail you flowers.
I was the son of a preacher in England, a tiny little island that couldn't hold me. And although my father prayed every Sunday, I knew that someday a pirate I'd be. Hi-diddle-dum-di-diddle-dum, shiver me timbers. Hi-diddle-dum-di with a bottle of rum. How does a young man become a pirate? How does a youth make a brave buccaneer? Does he sign aboard one of His Majesty's finest, or travel the seas on a sleek privateer? No, he must find a sloop, a right square rigger, with 6 guns on the top deck and 1,000 rats below, with 20 of the scurviest rascals the devil had kicked out of Hades to suffer above. Hi-diddle-dum-di-diddle-dum, shiver me timbers. Hi-diddle-dum-di with a bottle of rum.
And that was our friends, the Band of Brothers, and their number 1 selling hit, Draper the Pirate, available on iTunes, Amazon, and their site, Banjo Zone. But now, AirWreck Radio is proud and delighted to have one of my friends on the phone. Former Wild Lady of Comedy, former radio personality, Beth Donahue-Weedman.
Also known as Beth Damn Donahue.
Beth Damn Donahue.
People be like, Weedman, who the hell's that?
My maiden name is Damn.
Okay, let's not do the fake laugh every time I say something, okay?
No, we just giggle incessantly a lot. That's pretty much what our show is.
We're used to having just us to talk to. We got to do a lot of fake laughing.
That's exactly what it is. Just to catch everybody up, Beth did about a year here in Rochester, 18 years ago.
Oh my God.
Nights on WCMF, the local classic rock station. And I was an avid listener and call in, and she was nice enough to invite me into the studio one day.
Little Cory.
Yeah, that was me. I was about 13, 14 years old.
Oh my God.
First time I stepped into a radio studio.
Now you're my age and I'm 60.
Oh, it's the radio. People, you could go with 40 and everybody would be like, oh yeah, no, she sounds 40 or less.
Absolutely. She could totally pass for it in her pictures.
Oh, shut up.
I don't have to. You can't make me.
Yeah, we're not past the ass-kissing portion of this program yet.
You're not my boss. Alright, so just ask me anything except how did you get started doing comedy, otherwise I'm hanging up.
No, I would never ask you such a horrible question. That's my partner's job. No,
yeah, as soon as you want to get rid of me, just ask me that. Click.
Got it.
What was your boss's name? Just the first name. I can't think of it.
Harry.
That's what it was. I was trying to think of it the other day. You worked for Harry at CMF. That's right.
Ugh. It'll sound really sour grapes, but I just had no idea the level of sleaze that is in radio, and they
really?
said, yeah, move up here, and we're going to pay you X number of dollars, and I'm like, great. So I move up there, and they're like, by the way, we're not going to be able to do that money. We're going to need to, cut it in half. What do you want to do? And I'm up there with all my shit, and I'm like, oh, this is great.
It's a little too late to tell.
And then when I got fired unceremoniously,
one day you were just gone.
Yeah, that when they fire you in radio, it's like the next day there's no mention of you, no trace of you. Everything is gone from the website that ever had, unless it's pictures that they really like that don't have you in it. Yes. And it was horrible, man. It was just horrible. I mean, they just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, and But what are you going to do? You know.
Was CMF your only job in radio? Your first job? Your last job?
No. The first one was in Nashville. And, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I was a comedian, and then all of a sudden, I've got somebody every day telling me exactly what I have to say. And it's like, I can't do that. You know, and they're like, oh, sure you can. So I did the best I could, but like, you know, like I have Richard fucking Simmons in the studio, okay? Huge. 1,000 people in the parking lot. Just, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but at the time, for whatever reason, it was a madhouse. We only had him for like 20 minutes, and I have to stop twice and do the weather for 5 minutes. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
I fucking hate
And then, you know, I'd get ass raped after, you know, the show. And this happened every single day. And finally they just said, you got to go. And, you know, so it was just stupid stuff that I just wouldn't do. The day Princess Diana died, I was in Rochester. And Harry's like, don't fucking mention it. Don't you mention it. I'm like, are you crazy?
Who's supposed to know?
And of course I mentioned it, you know. So it's just really hard to you know, play by the rules in the radio because they're really dumb.
I know, and they're besides dumb, they're scared. They're pussies. And I
well, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's different in Rochester because CMF and, you know, they're such icons. But in most cities, like in Nashville, I know the name of one DJ. I couldn't tell you the name of anybody else, you know, because everybody sounds the same and, you know, and nobody's interesting because they're not allowed to be. So it's like they want you to be really popular, but they don't give you the opportunity to get popular because you have to sound like everybody else.
I've always
really
found that
stupid.
in Rochester, that we do get a lot of great personality through the radio stations here, but you're never going to get anywhere in Rochester. So as soon as they realize they have any talent, they leave.
The radio is all.
Except for
and I don't. Yeah, I know. I don't. You know. I mean, there's only. You know, I have no idea the whole Tommy Wees spill. I don't know how that shook out ratings. I never cared about ratings.
I was going to ask you.
I'm not interested in it. I just hope that those two guys are still friends. I know they came to Nashville a couple years ago for some convention and hadn't talked since the breakup, and I made them get into a room together, or a bar in this case. I'm sorry, there's a train in my backyard. And they were really cool with each other, and they probably never talked again after that. I don't know. But,
I was going to ask your opinion. How genuine you thought it was, and how much did you think it was a radio war for ratings?
What are we talking about?
Weez and Tommy
Weez and Tommy in their tiff, their lovers' quarrels.
Because it's great radio. It's very entertaining to listen to.
I don't know. And honest to God, Corey, I don't know anything about it. I don't know what happened. I don't. You know, I know that it was basically, you know, Howard Stern and Robin Quivers. You know, and it was like, you know, Tommy's like, you can have your own show, or you can. I guess that's what happened, you know, and Tommy's like, well, I'm going to stay and drive the ship for a while. And,
well, fuck yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't listened to radio. God, you know, sometimes if my husband and I go on a trip, we try to find these swap and shop shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's the best radio out there. The AM swap and shop.
I'm not familiar.
Oh my God. People just call up and they're like, yeah, I got 2 goats and a sander.
That is awesome.
and here's my phone number. And one lady calls up and she goes, this is for whoever took my purse at the Walmart. She goes, you can have the money. I just want my purse back. And since you know where I live, just come over and throw it in the yard. And it's like, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's
it just
a Dolce Gavucci, and I paid $13 for it. I need that back.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I love that. That is great. Public swap shop radio. That is a great way to. That is the cheapest way to fill airwaves that has ever been invented. Whoever is the program director that came up with that idea was just awarded with lavish luxuries of middle grade offices and shitty pay.
I know what I'm doing with
I know
this show.
It's like hillbilly Craigslist. I mean, just bad grammar, bad English. Turn your radio down. I mean, it's just gold. It's just all gold.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We tape it. We tape it on my husband's cassette player to listen to on the weekend.
Oh, you're now going to hear some of it on AirWreckRadio next week.
That's going to be our band next week. Is that show?
The station that we've got here in Nashville is called, I think it's WMAK in Spring Hill, Tennessee. So I don't know if they do internet radio, or I don't know if you can just dial it up and hear it. But
you can find any radio
station. It's on from like 12:15 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, that
Monday
is totally happening. Yeah, you can find find any radio station on the internet now.
That was your plug for this interview.
That's so you know.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I dropped out of technology for like 10 years. And I don't know what a podcast is. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to find it. I don't know what. Right now, I'm about to blow my brains out trying to buy a fucking tablet.
Oh, I know.
4G, 3G, or Wi-Fi, and you
keep
gotta
asking
buy a thing. And
you keep asking on Facebook, and retards keep giving you advice.
I know, and I've asked. I mean, I've got 5,000 fake friends, and not one person said. There's two things, Wi-Fi, or they told, and they're like, yeah, I did. Remember I said blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that didn't make any sense to me. You have to talk to me like I'm mildly retarded or 4 years old.
You need the one that works like your cell phone. That's the one you need. You go and ask the sales guy for the one that works like your cell phone.
Right, except that's another $30 or $40 a month, unless you know how to do the secret tether thing, which I will never know how to do in my life.
And as a guy,
like I just can't think of that many situations where I'm gonna have to be looking at my tablet and I'm gonna have to have internet connection, where I'm not somewhere with a hotspot or whatever the fuck you call it. The only reason we need it is because we're moving to Los Angeles, and I want to be able to drive around and hit Zillow and show me all the houses for rent in this neighborhood. Boom, go. So the fact that we'll have to do it before we leave the hotel, that'll save us $3,000. I'm just going to have to be inconvenienced,
I really, really am wondering where there's a Taco Bell. You're around some of the greatest Spanish food in the country. Yeah, I know, but I really want a Taco Bell.
I can find that out on my fucking BlackBerry,
By the way, you are the last person
with a BlackBerry.
I know. Not only that, I can't wait for the new one.
That helps explain why you're confused about the tablets. That definitely does it.
I'm just see, first of all, you little fuckers, I've had a computer so long, I got my first name as my AOL name. Okay?
Oh shit.
Beth at AOL?
Beth D at AOL.com.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
So Mac was still waiting for somebody to dust it off in the garage when I got on board. So I'm just Windows wired, and my husband has a Mac. Too. I hate it. I know it's the easiest thing in the world, except when I sit down to do it, and then it won't do anything. I hate it. I've tried. And the iPhone, I need that fucking keyboard, man. I love
my iPhone. I love my iPhone. I couldn't live without it.
Everybody loves their iPhone.
Yeah,
I know. But I'm going to be dead in 20 years, so just let me have my fucking BlackBerry.
All right,
fine. Since you put it so convincingly.
I mean, I'm not arguing that it's better. I'm just saying
it works for you.
Just don't have what it takes. I'm already puking trying to learn Android. I can't find anything. I don't know why I have to make a special request to get an icon on my desktop. I don't know who gets the request or who approves them because they never show up on my desktop.
That's why you needed an iPhone. They're way easier than Androids.
I don't want an iPhone. I want a tablet.
Or what, the iPad.
I don't want an iTab.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're making these tablets. Now everybody's saying, oh, get the note. You can write on it. If I wanted to write, I wouldn't have a fucking computer. I hate writing.
I like that. Yeah, they already invented that. It was called paper.
Yeah. Thank you.
Paper's heavy, though.
Yeah, you can write on it.
So
you
is that giant
$200 pen. I didn't even ask you if I'm allowed to cuss on here or not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
You asked us
we're out
earlier.
of, what's that thing called that we don't use?
If we were actually
Delay.
a real radio show, it would be out of dump. But no,
Well, thank God.
we're on the internet, so I don't give a fuck what you say.
Yeah, no.
And you can send me the link to this thing, but if I got to download some bullshit program,
No.
I'm going to kill you because my computer's getting ready to explode anyway.
No, when I send you the link, you just push the triangle button that means play in every country on Earth, and you will hear our lovely voices coming to you through the interwebs.
Well, I will certainly, Facebook it and tweet it and the other 5 things I know how to do.
Well, thank you.
That's 2 more things than I know how to do, so all right.
He's this guy over here doesn't even know what a Twitter is.
I don't understand it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I know a lot of Twitter-resistant people. All it really is instant news. I mean, somebody Facebooks, oh, the princess had her baby today. Okay, I already knew, how far apart her contractions were 3 days ago.
Right.
Yeah, I saw
Twitter's just instant.
I saw the Geraldo Rivera selfie pic in the mirror.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, wait.
Days before anybody else said it on the news or anything.
What happened?
Oh, God. Talk about something I can never unsee.
Did he finally find Nazi
gold? That is a
gold?
post-op tummy tuck. If I've ever seen one, and I've seen plenty.
I'll send you the picture, brother. Apparently, my partner hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen that.
I'll send you the picture of a 60-some-odd-year-old Geraldo Rivera, shirtless and pantless in the shower, doing a selfie.
I can't imagine why I would want to see that.
The best part is the red glasses.
Yes,
what is that?
He's got red, round, Beatles
You watching a
sunglasses.
3D movie somewhere?
That's my favorite color for glasses. You won me. I definitely need to see this picture.
Oh, it's horrible.
I'll link it to you.
I'd like to take us back to something you said earlier, if it's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Was Richard Simmons cool?
He is the most fabulous. I mean, and it's not just me. Being a hag. It's he comes in
Beth.
at 100 miles an hour. You have absolutely no control. You asking him questions. I don't know how they do it on TV when when he gets to where he's crying and stuff. But
he's
he
really
comes
intense.
in at 100 miles an hour, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced. Best guest, hands down, anywhere ever.
Anywhere ever? That's a big shoe to fit, but I believe it. There's a lot of energy there. Oh, in a minute
in my experience.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was unbelievable. And, I'm not a huge Richard Simmons fan, but that guy earns every penny he makes.
I like him because he seems genuine to me.
Yeah, I bet he's that guy when he gets up and goes to the bathroom in the morning. I bet he's the same person.
Is there somebody I can help on the way? Yeah!
Exactly.
So why did you get
who
out
do you
of...
like in America's Got Talent? And do you believe how Howard Stern is this completely different person on this show?
I don't watch television, but if there was a reason I watch TV, it's because you told me Stern is not Stern on TV. I have to know this.
What's he on TV?
He's not.
Oh.
He's like Deepak Chopra or something.
He's on America's Got Talent. He's one of the judges.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
I would
and
love,
there's a guy
I'd love to
on
hear
there.
Howie be like...
Have you not seen the special head link?
No.
Look up America's Got Talent special head and look at the levitation thing that he did a couple of weeks ago. And it just blew my mind. He's absolutely my favorite. When we went to LA last weekend, I was on Santa Monica Pier trying to find him, and turns out he was taping in New York or something. But special head levitation from America's Got Talent, I guarantee you will freak the fuck out. I mean, of course it's a trick. I don't know how he does it. I don't care. It'll blow your mind.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah. So my partner's looking it up. someday, if I keep having great guests like the great Beth Donahue, I might actually have a producer to do it for us.
No. You got to watch this and let it build. There's a build, like 30 seconds.
All right.
And you're like, what is it? Talk to me. What are you seeing? What are you seeing?
An ad.
That was funny. Is the guy even on stage yet?
Yeah, he
Give
just
us a
walked out
play-by-play,
on
Murph.
stage. He's saying hello, and Howie is Howie a cancer patient?
Mandel?
Yeah.
No, he just shaved his hair because he's an OCD crazy guy.
No, he's got OCD. Can't touch anybody.
I've
Or
heard
fist
that.
pumping or whatever that thing's called, knuckle punching or.
The bump.
You wouldn't expect that from Bobby's World.
Talk to me, Stacy. Talk to me.
They're talking to him. Howie's talking. All right, now he's just sitting down. He's got his stick and his like that dress thing that they wear there, wherever he's from.
Oh, I heard O&A talk about this guy.
He's banging on a bell. Is that our
Right.
What was that?
I can hear it.
Pick it up in your mic.
He's doing some kind of crazy chant.
Yeah.
The audience looks confused.
The audience is rightfully confused. I'm confused, and I'm sitting here past tense.
He stood up. He's doing some breathing exercise with his stick. Some of these people look disgusted.
Right.
The buzzer rang and nothing happened.
That just meant one of them voted no.
His face is ridiculous. The face that he's making is absurd.
Yeah.
He's doing some kind of bass breathing thing, and people are like Xing him out hardcore, and holy shit, he just fucking levitated.
I know.
What the
fuck? Do you even believe that?
I do. I absolutely believe that that's actually happening.
Isn't that just fucking awesome?
That's fucking insane. This guy is standing up. He's like holding himself up one-handed off to the side, sitting Indian style.
I know. And it's
stick.
like I don't care what the trick is. It's amazing.
I don't care how the hell he fooled us. That is awesome, and I want to pay him to watch it again.
The crowd is going wild.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
I like the comeback, too. Everyone's Xing him out because he's crap, and then, wow!
And then he just jumped up into the air and, like, levitated. It's a fucking...
Right.
That was cool. Thanks for introducing me to that.
No problem.
Why aren't you in showbiz anymore there, Beth?
I am not in show business because I could not, after about 10 years of comedy and radio, I could not stop eating painkillers by the plane load.
All right, yeah,
and just really horrible addiction. And
Stacy's looking confused.
What? Go ahead.
I saw a guy levitate, dude.
Radio people classically have back problems from all their sitting.
Oh.
And they have a tendency to eat Oxycontins because of it.
You know what? I never got to Oxys. I was Lortab.
Oh, you were Lortab. Okay. I think you were before the time of the Oxy, though.
I've been on the emergency room tour of the United States, Canada, Mexico. Trust me. I've been to every ER in this country. And anyway, I couldn't stop, and I finally got hip to something called Suboxone, which is a little strip. You put it under your tongue, and zero cravings. And there's a whole camp of people that say, oh, you're not clean. Well, all I know is I needed 25 Lortabs, and I take a half of a little milligram of a strip every day, and I haven't had a pain pill in 3 years.
Good for you, honey.
So
good for you,
yeah.
honey.
Well, it's not anything I'm doing. It's a miracle drug for me because I couldn't. And right about that time is when I met my husband, the most awesome guy on the planet, and I was like, and he came on the road with me for about a year, and we had a blast, and then we got married, and I'm like, I'm not going out of town anymore. We've been married 7 years, and I still cry every day that he's so cool and he married me.
What does Robert do?
Robert,
besides being able to, if you can answer, if you can't, I understand. Besides being able
no, he has an awesome lineage. His you won't remember this, but his father was a very famous criminal defense attorney in L.A. who successfully defended Claudine Longet when she killed Spider Savage. She also defended Squeaky Fromm from the Mansons.
The old mob days.
Yeah, and then his grandfather on his mother's side was the governor of California in the late 50s or 60s, Goodwin Knight.
Sweet.
And so then his other set of grandparents, his grandfather, Johnny Bond, was a famous country and western songwriter who was Gene Autry's guitar player forever. And so we have a catalog of very old country and western songs that we run this business licensing thing so people can play the songs wherever. But that wasn't enough to pay the bill, so he got a job at a financial place. And it's boring, but it pays the bills and has insurance.
No,
I
that's
am the
worth its weight in
cashier
gold.
at a grocery store.
At a grocery store.
Mm-hmm. I
So
make
wait a minute.
$8 an hour.
Nice.
Ballin'.
Yeah, buddy.
And I
So
I used to make $500 an hour.
Yeah. So we took a former performer, and professional smartass. We took her and we wedged her into a customer-based service position.
I bet that's
Yeah.
That's gotta be
And
fun. I want to make a reality show just about that.
Dude, people are just... We've got the guy who we can't scan any of his stuff. We have to put them all in by hand because he knows the scanner is hooked into outer space. And
These days, he
people
might be
that
right.
none of their food can touch the other food. Every item has to be in its own bag. You don't even want to know the craziness of the grocery store reality.
I've never known Beth to be quiet or bashful, so I can't believe when stupid shows up that Beth doesn't call it. I don't.
That is called learning with age.
Yeah.
And also all these old people that are so stupid and slow, I'm turning into one. And I have a tremendous amount of empathy. So
Someday I
I've
want my
managed
shit
to
accepted.
curb my tongue. And when I can't stand it anymore, I'll just go do a show
There you go.
somewhere.
There you go.
Fuck it, I'm taking a month off.
So I do like 3 or 4 shows a year.
Nice.
And that's it. And everybody's like, why don't you come to Rochester? Because as far
Why
as
the
I
hell
know,
would you? We've got one
Joe
comedy
T
club.
runs the club out of his tattoo shop and
No, we
tries
got a different
to pay
club
you
now.
in ink or some shit.
We got a
Huh.
different club now. It's there's a club out in
Trust me.
Webster.
Joe T's in it somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure he is. It's fucking Joe T.
And they tell you they'll pay you this, and then payday comes, and it's like, oh, we had to paper the room, and we didn't make any money, and it's like, really? Why did you beg me to come here for 2 years?
Yeah,
and then
you
nobody, it was sold out every night, but you didn't make any money.
It was sold out every night and pushed on local radio for a week because especially
Right,
when
and-
you came
And
here,
$15 for a beer.
yeah, especially when
Yeah.
you came here, the biggest name in radio talked about it for a week in the area. And so you didn't make any money? Bullshit.
They didn't make any money, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And what are you going to do? You got
That's
a plane
why-
to catch the
that's
next
why
morning,
I-
you know?
That's why in my lifetime I went to the cafe twice and stopped going because I'm not paying $8 a beer and know that you're robbing all the comics.
Oh, you
I'm
gotta
not-
pay for that sitting. I'm gonna have that empty-less cup there. The
No.
bottomless cup they do.
What he needed to pay for was his club in the Bahamas so he could move to the Bahamas.
No, what I paid
Oh,
for was the
God.
bottomless cup.
What's his name from the Comics Cafe? JJ moved to the Bahamas
Oh, God, him.
or Aruba
He's
or
still
something.
alive?
Yeah, he's in the Bahama or Aruba
Oh.
or something.
He was when he
Oh,
went
wow,
to Bahamas.
good.
So-
Wow, I wish you could see the girl that's jogging by my house right now.
Me too.
She's doing it sideways.
Isn't this
I've never
exactly what
seen
Twitter's
anything
for?
like that. She's jogging sideways, yep.
Girl jogging side. She's like, hold on, let me get my phone. So how did
Or my tab, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta figure out how to work this fucking camera.
Yeah, I know. I know. I like the Twin Towers. I'm like, I can't figure it out in time. Well, it was on for 3 days. I'm sorry, I can't figure it out.
I still couldn't find the camera button.
So how does Robert deal with you?
Well, why don't you ask him?
I would love to.
Darling? Yes. All right, I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
Okay.
The boys would like to speak with you.
Fantastic. Am I on speaker?
Yes.
Hey, this is Robert.
Hi, Robert. This is Cory
This is Stacy.
from AirWreckRadio. We're happy that you let us talk to Beth, and we're happy to talk to you.
Well, I'm happy to be with you. I'm so glad that you were able to spend some time with my beautiful bride of 6 years now.
Very
Is it
nice.
6 or 5 years?
Oh.
Six. Okay, we're into our 6 years together.
All right, beautiful. How did you
We
guys...
actually met. First time we met was through MySpace. Remember MySpace?
Yeah, sure
And then
do.
we actually, first time we met was at Zany's Comedy Club, and Beth's like, "No, I really don't want you to meet here, but I got a show, but I want to meet you," and we haven't stopped since.
Oh, you met her at a show? Did you watch the show?
I watched the show, and I couldn't wait for her set to get over so we could continue to talk, but I was enjoying it so much. It was actually the first time I'd ever seen her perform, and then she took me backstage.
Oh, that must have been cool for you.
Yes, I was very impressed, and we spent an hour talking, and it was great.
That
sounds pretty cool.
That
man.
was literally the question I was in the middle of asking.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I know I should actually let you ask me questions.
No, we're bad at this.
It's
It's cool.
That's fine. No, we prefer when other people do the interviews for us. It's less hard work for us.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when the guest just talks.
Yeah, you guys could just kind of maybe run a few errands, and I could just chat and however you want to do it.
It wouldn't be the first time one of our guests ran a little bit long on a story, and we went for a run to the refrigerator.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure you've got that time just right.
Well, that's one of the perks of being a podcast.
Yeah, our fridge is really close to
Our
the
fridge
table.
is right there because it's my studio. I built it. We'll do what we'd like.
Yeah, you have podcast perks.
Exactly. That's exactly that, and we don't have any bosses or FCC, and we can talk to anybody we'd like about whatever we'd like.
Yeah, there's no getting fired here.
Wow.
So I hear
that's awesome.
I hear you have a long, proud lineage.
I do have I guess I do have a proud lineage. Actually, that's a word I did not expect to use today.
I was listening to Beth.
Don't even ask me how to spell that. I have no idea. But
well, that makes two of us, so that's not that big a sin. I was, as Beth was telling me the story, a little bit of it. I was thinking, oh, my daddy was a tin knocker.
You said a tin knocker?
Yeah, my grandfather was an immigrant. I don't know.
Wow, makes me want to do my bad Johnny Carson impression.
Well, please feel free.
Especially, I didn't even
never stop you.
I'm wearing a flipper now because I've been having some dental work done, so I kind of lisp a little bit. I got a little Cindy Brady twist going. A little bit of a Cindy Brady lisp. But I was going to do my bad Johnny Carson. That was I do a bad Johnny Carson because that was not normal.
You know what? That's
was that terrible. What I do is I do impressions of friends impressions.
It's not bad for over the speakerphone.
Yeah, that's
right.
It sounded really good on the phone.
I've also had a little coffee, a little after work coffee, so I'm running a little faster than I usually do.
Vodka. The after work coffee.
Yeah, I maybe want to get back to the lineage.
Oh,
yeah,
please do.
Feel free. Beth filled me on some of the interesting points. Political history and a musical history. Is there any other points you have to offer?
It's amazing what after my dad got divorced. Before the divorce, my biological mother, Carolyn Knight, her father was my grandfather, Governor Goodwin Knight, who was governor of California from 1954 to 1958. And his kind of, what I'm very proud of is he actually was there with Walt Disney the day of the opening of Disneyland. And my grandfather got to speak at Disneyland. In fact, they released that on DVD. They did a television broadcast, and actually I finally got to hear my grandfather actually talking at the opening day of Disneyland. Oh, here comes Beth. She's walking in.
And my husband's grandfather, Goodwin Knight, and Walt Disney exchanged letters, and they're worth thousands of dollars, and we can't find them.
Along with your Stephen King letter.
Yes, I have a handwritten letter.
Yeah, handwritten letter to Stephen King. And that's from Stephen King before he became like Stephen King.
Oh shit!
That's
an artifact. It was really the first time I got to hear my grandfather speak was on that DVD. So that was a proud moment. And then my dad remarried, divorced my biological mother, and married Sherry Bond, and her father was Johnny Bond, who was my step-grandfather, who was very popular in country music. He sang 10 Little Bottles and Hot Rod Lincoln, and he's actually a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Really?
So in Nashville. So it's fun to go to the Hall of Fame and see his plaque. It's very still.
Yeah, yeah. Not a whole lot of action.
Yeah, so you see just kind of a bronze plaque of my grandfather, Johnny Bond. So, yeah, there's been kind of some fun lineage there. You know, it's amazing when your parents are born, you just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's, it's another inclination of small world situation.
It is, and it is. Yeah, it is a small world, especially with Facebook. It's even gotten smaller.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because now it's a small global world.
Yeah.
It is a small global world, but now I'm running into people that they started off as Facebook friends, and then I meet them, and it's kind of reverse. We really don't have much to talk about because I already know what's going on. So it's a very strange conversation.
So you were at your aunt's house swimming this weekend. That's cool.
Like,
right. Well, I think it's awesome you had Beth on the show. And when can we hear this podcast?
The podcast will be available first thing Wednesday morning. I post them at 12:01, and what I'll do is I'll drop a link right on Beth's Facebook.
Oh, that is so awesome!
And then she can just click the link, click the play button, and you'll hear our wonderful show. You guys will be towards the ass end of the show because we're smart enough to put our interviews on the bottom of the show.
On our part.
We only want our part? Is that what it is? No, we'll get the whole show.
I can't post fucking,
Beth is requesting just our part.
I can also send you I'll send you isolated audio of just your guys' part.
We're going to send you the whole show without this.
That's
We're going to
amazing.
edit this right out.
Well, the one thing I will say, there's so many things to say, but I'm not going to say them all. But, seeing Beth and dating Beth, I had a chance to go on the road with her early on. And she did a tour with Eddie Mae and the Southern Fried Chicks, which was a little limiting because Beth couldn't really do her whole Beth damn Donahue shtick. But it was, she had to be clean. But it was amazing to go to all these theaters, really, literally all over the country, and see her perform. And it was an amazing experience, and see her doing the meet and greets. And it was that was a real great opportunity to see her just early on in our dating. And I've seen her live many, many times, and she doesn't do as many shows as she used to, but it's amazing how many people still see her and remember her from the radio days, and she is definitely amazing to be married to because we just laugh every night, and it's like being at a Beth Donahue show every night.
Because of Beth Donahue inviting a chubby little 13-year-old boy into a radio studio for the first time.
Wow. Yeah, Beth was telling me a little bit of background about that. That's amazing that all these years later you still remember her, and
that was a big moment in my life. It's inspired me to do a lot of things since then, including this show right here. Thank you.
I'll input. What? We got a friend story.
Sorry, I've got to have Rod tell you one thing, and then we got it because we're starving to death.
I was just gonna wrap with you guys, but let me know what you want to tell me, and then we'll wrap it up.
I think this is so funny, and it doesn't have a punchline because it's a story, but it just
anecdotes
fucking
don't need punchlines.
You know when you go to a concert and there's always one drunk guy just bad timing, yelling stupid shit?
Yes.
Okay, so Robert goes to see James Taylor many years ago. It's a beautiful outdoor theater, super quiet. James Taylor and his guitar, and I'll give him the phone.
Well, just in a nutshell, is at the Starwood Amphitheater here in Nashville, and right at the moment, James Taylor's doing all his classic songs, and it's nice and quiet, because James is talking, and right in the middle of it, some guy just stands up and goes, "You've got a friend!" Right at that moment.
Thank you so much for picking that song.
Yeah, right. And James is like, "Look, don't worry, I'm gonna get to that song, and he does another song, just Sweet Baby Jane, and the guy stands up again, right at the perfect moments of silence. You've got a friend. Why every concert? Why is there's that one guy every show?
It's me.
Well, I call that concert tension, and just expect it when you go to a concert.
Oh yeah, because they want to be part of the show nowadays. They can't be happy sitting watching a show. They have to be part of the show now.
Be part of the show. You've got a friend.
But you have 10,000 other people who think you're an asshole. Sit down.
You gotta
right, exactly. Every concert. the whole concert experience has changed so much. I mean, just there's no more. It's all just no surprises. There's always previews on YouTube. So when I see a show, I don't want to watch YouTube. I don't want to take pictures. I just want to try to enjoy the show.
I just want to, I want to watch a show and not be through the screen of something else that I'm holding.
Exactly. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. But I'm gonna give it back to Beth Donahue. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of the show. I'm so excited.
I'm super happy to have you, Robert.
Invited
Thank you
Beth
so much.
and me to guest star on the show.
I'm happy to have you guys.
I wish, and it's not normal, and I wish you all the best of luck on your podcast. It's very, very exciting.
Thank you.
And we will promote it, and we will put it on that Facebook page.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much for talking to us.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Becky. I told
you I wouldn't have anything to say.
Except for 45 minutes of one of the best interviews we've ever done. Thank you.
I'm sure.
I thank you so much.
I'm sure, yeah. There'll be a lot of awards coming from this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's no awards.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, no.
Nobody has any money for this shit.
This is like public radio.
It's actually worse than that.
Well, I think you guys are doing a kick-ass job. Believe me, I've done a million interviews, and this was very fun.
Awesome. We're glad to hear that. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you
and
very much.
I'm very proud of you, and send me a good link, all right?
I surely will, honey. Thank you very much.
And make Stacy show you special head.
I surely will.
See that.
All right, guys. Love you.
Love you.
Too.
Bye.
Bye. I really, really wanted to ask her how she got started in comedy. I wanted that to end the show so bad.
Oh, I know. But I'm so happy she was able to give us an interview, though.
I saved it because she was super cool, and like she said it like that might like piss her off, so I didn't want to piss her off. So we're gonna go to break now with MC Frontalot, Stoop Sale.
I nearly blew right by in my hurry to the subway when I heard someone say, "Isn't autumn lovely?" As I stopped to observe this was correct to the proprietor, couldn't help but inspect the Fulton table by the railing laden with her goods. Ashtrays made of metal, little angels made of wood, hand mirror with the handle broken, still pretty nice. Wall wart to charge telephone, trays to make ice. The advice of my neighbor, go ahead, take your time, we'll negotiate price on whatever you find. And then shining in the detritus, I saw the brightest flash of something precious, began to feel the slightest little tingle in my innards. I was like, what's that? And then her bare tooth chuckled. It's a buckle for a strap on a hat, like a lady wears to court or church, but it holds a special property. I'll tell you how it works. It was a stoop sale, which is a garage sale if you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due. It was a stoop sale, which is a garage sale if you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due. Somehow I knew she was serious. I reached to pick it up, but she stayed my hand. Her reprimand, it was abrupt. Hey, this little trinket, she said, grants wishes. It can make anything you ever eat delicious. It can take away concerns so you can sleep at night. Can make the love of your life and you reunite. Can right wrongs done in your past or in your future. Make a winner out of whoever owns it roots for. But it only ever does one thing. As you take possession of it, that's the wish to which it clings. So choose very carefully before we make a deal. If there's anything impossible you want to make real, if there's anything improbable you'd like to assure, well, it will happen. That's when you have to endure the regret that accompanies said decision making. All the other wishes in the world that you've forsaken at the stoop sale, which is a garage sale if you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due. It was a stoop sale, which is a garage sale if you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due. Could it be true? I wondered as I stared at the glass. Would some skills on the microphone be too much to ask? Had a couple dark notions that involved revenge, fame, glory, money, people love me, and it never ends. Shook these from my head like there was so much sleep, and thought instead I pretend that I was so much deep as to offer every human in the world true peace, so that we never kill each other, never get cooties, and never go hungry, suffer shelterlessness. This generosity I felt compelled to dismiss by my greed to see an old friend back living. If I go the wrong direction though, could I ever be forgiven? While I stood daydreaming, somebody got a hold of this little brass buckle, and he must have been so bold as to put it in his pocket without it getting caught. Saw him do it. He was wishing that he wouldn't get caught. All at the stoop sale, which is a garage sale. If you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due. It was a stoop sale, which is a garage sale. If you lived in Brooklyn, which I do. And at the stoop sale, which is like a yard sale, except that it's in Brooklyn, I got my due.
Listening to AirWreckRadio.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to AirWreckRadio. That was Beth Donahue, a new favorite of the show. I think we both had a blast listening to the stories we got out of them. Now, in our last break, Cory would like to have us all commit suicide.
Everybody.
Every one of us.
Find a bridge.
Get some Kool-Aid, put some rat poison in it, do it.
Drink it up. Find a bridge.
We've just become a
Throw
cult.
some Nikes on. Jump off it. That's all I have to say.
Some Nikes.
Well, you said Kool-Aid. I had to get another Heaven's Gate reference in.
Oh my gosh.
How many of us remember the Heaven Gates mass suicide incident?
In this room, one.
That's where the drink the Kool-Aid reference comes from.
Cool. I thought it had something to do with like the acid Kool-Aid test thing, that book that everybody read in the 70s. I don't know what it's called. I wasn't in the 70s. Anyway, we've done our fair amount of discussing the Zimmerman trial, and
yes,
and I really feel like the discussion,
less than everybody else, but
the discussion of the Zimmerman trial, I think, is winding down, but winding up in its place is a new kind of perhaps an open forum discussion where we finally get down
thanks
and be
to
like,
the internets.
Maybe it's time we have some adult conversations. And one man, Cory was able to find, had some interesting things to say. Some of them very inflammatory. Some of them very insightful.
I heard this clip on some other podcasts and radio shows that I listened to, and I wanted to address it on ours. I wish I knew his name.
I wish that too.
But I do not know. I cannot find it.
We knew the name of the dog that got shot.
Yeah, that's a Max. I knew that. If somebody, one of our wonderful wreckheads who loves to call me up and tell me that I'm full of shit, if one of them would like to tell me what the name of this gentleman in the Dolce & Gabbana glasses is, I would like to know that. But here for you is the clip of Black Man Explains Anger Over Zimmerman Verdict. You can find it on liveleaks.com.
You know, I'm out here at the remains of the rally in support for one Trayvon Martin, the youth who was shot in Florida, here in good old Akron, Mississippi, where all of the slaves, the buck dancing, shoe shining Negroes like this guy behind me, one councilman.
I gotta say, right there, that's very inflammatory language.
I agree, but I love this guy's voice. I really do.
It's the reason anybody listened is to be like, what is this guy?
I like buck dancing. I love that line. I've never heard that before.
I don't know if it's okay to like that one.
I don't care.
I know. I don't care too, but I'm aware of the sensibilities that might be surrounding that one.
Yeah, well, I understand the sensibilities, and like if you wanted to punch me in the face because of your particular life situation, I'd understand.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with
that. But
I
know you wouldn't.
It has nothing to do with that. It's more just like dumbass. It's more just like I can see how that shit is. I don't know what buck dancing means, but
I don't know either. But
I know there was a character on the Little Rascals called Buckwheat, and
I'm sure it
has something to do with whatever buckwheat is. I don't know. Continue.
I love this guy's voice. I just can't get over this guy. I love this guy.
Oh, he'll be auto
at large. Uncle Mike Williams kept it.
I'll back it up. You're absolutely right. He will absolutely be auto-tuned in a remix within the next couple of days.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
At large, Uncle Mike Williams helped to convene this buffoonery that took place in front of a black-owned store that half of these niggas don't even support. I find it kind of comical that all of these Negroes decided to get together on this rally for one Trayvon Martin down in Florida, never taking into consideration the Trayvon Martins right here in the west side of Akron. Over the Christmas holiday, you had 8 shootings and 6 murders of black men killing other black men. And none of these shoe-shining, boot-licking, behind-kissing Uncle Tom Negroes decided to have one rally in their honor. And you know why that is? I'm going to tell you why that is. Because a black life only has a value when that black life is taken by a person who's non-white, non-black rather. As long as it's black on black, these Negroes don't do anything. They sit back and shine shoes, fry chicken, kiss white ass, and buck dance.
Pause. Again, very inflammatory. Seems a little unnecessary, but I understand what he's going for.
I don't think that he's saying it word for word with the intention that he's saying is as I believe that he's purposely being inflammatory.
He's trying to get these people to be like, listen, white people aren't the only people that can say these words. And
exactly, he's trying to say, he's fighting racism with a different type of racism to meet in the middle, the way I see it.
It's like irony.
Yeah, exactly. He's being ironic about it.
Or you and I are horrible racists.
One of the two.
It's either irony or we're horrible racists.
But let's continue because I love this guy.
Okay.
But as soon as these monkeys can blame the murder on a white person, oh, here they come. These shines dust off their dashikis and their protest signs, and then they come out here in front of a black-owned store that they don't even support, shouting no justice, no peace. This is absolutely insane, and it only demonstrates how dysfunctional this Afro-American Negro really is. The only reason why I showed up is because I had to see it firsthand. I've never seen such a conclave of minstrels in my life.
Stop. Conclave of minstrels.
Are you sure he didn't say miscrolls?
Back it up.
I've never seen such a conclave of minstrels in my life.
Minstrels.
Yeah.
I love that phrase. That's conclave of minstrels. I love that phrase. I've never heard such an eloquently spoken way of saying it. I love it.
It really it's a very efficient line for referring to people you disagree with as idiots with picket signs.
That's
now I'm not taking a side here.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
I see the upset picketers' point of view. I see this guy's point of view. I'm glad that this guy's out there making his point of view. I love the language that he uses for that description.
But all those other language is the language that you don't like.
It's a little bit...
I know. It hits you right in your sensitive white liberal bone. I know it does. And I know you shake your head at me. No, I'm not a guilty white liberal. But yes, you are, just as much as I am. You hear words like this and you go, ooh, ooh.
Well, that's because...
It's because you're trained to feel that way.
No, it's because if a white guy said it, the fucking radio would burn down.
Oh, yeah.
But
because you're trained to feel that way.
The point he's trying to get across by using that language, I really think, is these are words.
That's my point.
Some big-ass comedian said once, I can't remember his name, but he was like a major comedian. He said that, like, if we just use these words, they'll lose their power. And that's true. Now, I'm not inciting that we should use these hateful words, but the more you hear them, the less powerful they become.
And that's why people have problem with rape jokes. Well, that's exactly why, because I
think rape is the reason people have a problem with rape jokes.
But no, the point is that if you hear jokes about rape, what the people fear is that it'll desensitize you.
Yeah.
It pulls you away from the shock value of the word rape.
But back to the point.
It's the same thing, but back to the clip is more of the point.
Yeah.
The only other time you'll see this many Negroes in one spot is if they're giving away free Air Jordan tennis shoes or baskets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Also, other than that,
stop.
Also very inflammatory. Continue. You didn't have to stop that time.
No, I don't care. No other valuable point other than that is inflammatory, and it made me fall out of my chair.
Oh, it's funny. It says some of what this guy says is humorous, and thank God for him saying these things in a way that like people could laugh about, but like
and still be a serious point.
It's kind of like when Gilbert Gottfried made the 9/11 joke on like 9/13. Only difference is that what this guy says is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, and not
like way too soon.
2 days after a national tragedy.
A huge mega tragedy.
Yeah, not even a national tragedy. A huge mega tragedy.
Thanks, Iago.
the only other time you'll see this many Negroes in one spot is if they're giving away free Air Jordan tennis shoes or baskets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Other than that, these Negroes do what they do. And on one last note, anytime you got a movement, and the speakers consist of Ophelia Avery, the president of the local chapter of the NAACP, a 90-year-old fossilized hag, and preachers, you know that movement is going nowhere.
Preach it, brother. Amen, brother. Preach it from the skies. The sky's got it on point in every way. Sorry, back to the clip.
Because preachers, as we all know, have been lining their pockets ever since the slave plantation. So if this is the people that you're going to have as your leaders, leading your movement, then it's no wonder that this shit is going nowhere. As I said, like this buck that's a Negro behind me, one councilman at large, Michael Uncle Tom Williams, standing in front of Henry's Acme here in Akron, Mississippi, a black-owned business that I might add that the Negroes don't even support. And you Negroes wonder why I call y'all savages. It is what it is.
Okay, let's see. Right before he says it is what it is, he puts his big fucking cigar back in his mouth and shakes his fucking head. It is what it is. I love this guy.
I wonder if he's the store owner.
Maybe a little viral marketing.
He's a little upset about the fact that they don't support the store.
Him. Yeah,
and who would have that knowledge?
Yeah, that's a good point. And it wouldn't hurt for viral marketing purposes.
Hell no, man. He's right in front of his store. He's getting on TV. But I ain't trying to take away from what he's saying.
You can't see the video, but I can in this case, which is reversed from the interview that we just he's in a hat and Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses, and he's got an Adidas, and you know it's Adidas because it's got the 3 stripes down the shoulders. Sweatshirt or whatever they are.
He's dressed like almost anybody you might see in the city who's not wearing a long white T-shirt.
This was recorded 3 days ago in Akron, Ohio, in the middle of the heat wave.
Wow.
This guy was just like this during the heat wave.
Tough old bag of bones, this guy.
Yeah, but you say old bag of bones, I bet you this dude ain't even 40 years old.
I don't know, man. I've seen some black men who are like,
they do age
you
well.
wouldn't
They
believe
do
that I'm
age
70, and I'd be like,
wow, what a
you're
racist
right.
thing I just said.
I wouldn't believe.
I just said they age well. What a scumbag I am.
Yeah, we all know it. But seriously, I was at a gas station, the gas station that I go to frequently, and a dude was like, this black dude was like, just chatting up the counter, and he looked at me and he said, "You wouldn't believe it, I'm 76," and I'm like,
"You're right. I don't believe it.
I wouldn't believe it.
You're 37, right?
By the time I'm 76, I'll probably be 20 years in the ground."
Yeah.
76. This guy looked like. Fuck, he looked like me when I was 23. It was ridiculous.
The look of horror on your face right now is priceless, and I cannot wait till we add a video element to this show, because that was great. The look of horror on your face.
This guy, he sounds a little bit like an ornery old bastard. I bet that he's a little older than you're giving him credit for.
Maybe.
But he does say a lot of things that enforce what other black leaders are saying these days is maybe it's time that we start sharing the responsibility here. Not so much, we're being kept down. It's we're not.
It's not white versus black crime. How about crime is crime?
Yeah. It's nice to hear that out of this we're taking away at least a little bit a lesson that it doesn't matter if it was black on white crime. It doesn't matter what it was.
Crime's crime, man. People don't deserve to be shot in the streets.
People don't deserve to be shot in the streets. They don't deserve to have their shit taken. They don't. Our Constitution guarantees you the right to be secure in your possessions, and it's important that people earn those possessions and be secure in them. And I think that's the root of what a lot of people are getting at these days. Is you have the right to be secure.
I know that you find a lot of his language inflammatory.
I don't find it to be. I know that it is, and I think that it is.
But I feel that it's purposefully inflammatory. You're right, it is, but I really don't feel that he's off the mark using it. Like, I don't feel that it was a clip not worth playing because he was just being inflammatory.
He starts out a little slow, but then he says a lot of really smart things.
But in an inflammatory, purposefully aggressive kind of way. Enough that it's enough to piss racially offend you as a white person or you as a black person. Words that come out of his mouth are racially offensive to a lot of different parties, and he does. I feel that is a purposeful commentary.
If I come over to your house, right?
Okay.
And I say to you, "Dude, you need to clean your gutters," you might be offended by the fact that I pointed out that your gutters are dirty.
Doesn't make it any less
true. But it doesn't change the fact that you need to clean your gutters.
Yes.
And I think that's where this guy's head is at.
And sometimes you need to be shocked. You need to be kicked in the pants for you to see the truth. You might say, "Hey man, I heard that if you clean your gutters, it's better for your house."
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as saying, "Hey man, your fucking gutters are trash. Clean that shit." I think that's what this guy did. Instead of the normal,
"Hey, maybe you could clean up your gutters."
This guy was like, "Yo, that shit's fucked up.
You got trees in that shit, bitch. Get out that fucking gutter."
I love this guy. I
love this guy a little bit more every time I hear him, but he's a little theatrical, but that's what works. That's what gets your voice heard.
We're talking about him right now, aren't we?
We're listening to him on AirWreckRadio. We hope that everybody listening to AirWreckRadio has enjoyed the show. We hope that everybody listening to the show will tweet something at Cory.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I love being tweeted.
What that means, but Cory loves it. I hope that everybody listening will tell all their friends to listen, and then all their friends will listen.
And you know what they will do? They will listen, and they will love it.
Yes, but more importantly, like it on Facebook.
Ooh, and follow it on the Twitters, and email it
to AirWreckRadio at AirWreck Radio.
What? Huh? What was that?
AirWreckRadio at AirWreckRadio.
What was that show that we do every week?
Or AirWreckRadio at gmail.com. Special big thanks to Beth Donahue, our guest tonight, Cory's radio god who led him on the path to radio. So big special thanks to her. Big special thanks to her husband, Robert. Also a ton of fun to talk to. They were
sure was.
Very good time to have on the show tonight. Special thanks, of course, to all of our rec heads, guys. We love you so very much.
You have no idea how much we love you.
You satisfy our egos.
Ooh.
Do it more.
Ooh, and do it aggressively.
Yes. Maybe not too aggressively.
Well, we like a little bit of loving, but
So, that's our show this week. Check us out next week. We promise next week should be a space show.
We promise maybe it might be if we try hard enough.
In studio with us, we're going to have Tom Allen, astrophysicist extraordinaire. Also in the studio with us, we're going to have the band Youngbloods.
Youngblood, I'm excited to have these guys. These guys sound great.
We have yet to see how this is going to work out for us. We guarantee that in the future, we're going to have both a space show and Youngbloods, and we're going to record both shows next week. Is it one show? Is it two shows? I don't know.
6 shows? We have no idea.
Go to Twitter and cast your vote at 2 shows yes, 2 shows no. Hashtag something. I don't know. I don't know.
I think what he meant to say was, please tweet me at AirWreckRadio and let me know what you think. Should we do one show with it? Should we do a separate, a space separate special show?
Would all you bastards like an extra show next week?
Yeah, that's basically what we're asking. We're going to go to the Twitter and we're going to go to the Facebook and we're going to make some polls and we're going to get that done.
We ask you to keep in mind that AirWreck Radio is not a democracy, and any votes that you give, we are not held accountable to keep.
Yeah, no.
It really comes down to what we want to do. But
we'll pretty much do whatever we like anyway.
Very curious to know what our Wreckhead fans would like us to do. So thanks everybody for joining us tonight. This has been your episode this week of AirWreck Radio.
It's late in the afternoon. The sun rising high.
I'd like to extend a very special thanks to Kevin McLeod of Incompact.com, freesounds.org, Audacity Software, GIMP graphic editors, all our band friends, our guests tonight, my dear friend Stacy, and all you, our loyal listeners.
Sitting down in my easy chair, taking a sip of my sassafras tea. Now wouldn't you know it, there goes the phone again. It's probably just another wrong number, but someone tried to sell me something I can't even see. Well, I got the solution, how to deal with this insanity. Just sit down in my easy chair and take a big sip of my sassafras tea. It's getting near evening, the sun rolling down. I guess I should shake a leg, climb in my car and roll downtown. Check out the city lights, all decked out in a tux and a tie. But I'm sitting in my easy chair, taking a sip of my sassafras tea. Jim, he got the willies and the worries on his mind, and the weight of the world putting pressure on his spine. Well, I got the solution,